الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم.
So the Catholic Bible today, for example, does it have different amount of chapters or no?
It depends on what you mean Catholic Bible. Are you talking about the Catholic version of what we call the Bible?
Yes.
The Bible.
Yes.
Protestants, 1,500 years later, we moved a few books out.
Okay, so the Bible today has missing books from the original, you're saying?
No, we have Protestant Bible, not Catholic.
Okay. Are you Catholic?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you believe in the Tobit and Judith and Wisdom of Solomon, these books that are not in the current standard Christian Bible.
You miss.
Okay.
Bible, had the books that it had for 2,000 years. In the 1500s, some Protestants decided to remove a few books because they were teaching too many Catholic doctrines and they wanted to separate from the church. So they took a few books out. They even wanted to take a few books out of the New Testament and people told me you're crazy.
Well, there are chapters of the New Testament that were taken out, right?
None.
Really?
Testament is exactly the same.
That's interesting because I have the New World Translation. Have you read it?
The World Translation, that's Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah. So they're not Christian?
No, they're not.
So what are they? They say they're Christian.
Well, anybody can say they're Christian.
Okay,
Some Shia say they're Muslim.
are you,
Sunni scholars will say they're not Muslim because they call on the name of Ali when they pray.
Okay, so let me ask you this. For example, if you look at the discussion of the end of Mark, right? You find from 1721, I believe, that is not found in the old manuscripts, right?
Some manuscripts, not
right.
all.
In the original manuscripts, they don't have it, right? That's why they've got a discussion.
Because when you say original, there are different.
The earliest Greek manuscripts do not have those parts of the Bible, correct?
I talk about the eating of the poison, the snakes and stuff like
exactly,
that.
Exactly.
Well,
Son of Man coming, So the question now gets to be.
But the church was already teaching that teaching before.
Okay, so
remember, we don't need the Bible.
So the Protestant Bible, the King James Version.
Well, there's Catholic version and Protestant. It's not just Protestant. There's King James that has all.
King James, the Catholic Bible?
No.
King James rebelled against. Go ahead.
تفضلوا. King James is just a translation,
okay,
not a specific Bible. So there is King James version that has what's called the Apocrypha in it, and there's a King James version that doesn't have it that Protestants use.
Okay, so the
King James is just a version, it's a translation, it doesn't mean it's the Bible.
So just to understand, I mean, I'm not, let's leave King James out of this, we'll just discuss it.
Definitely King James, that guy crazy.
That dude was crazy, yes, at least you know that. Know. You know your stuff, I like it. Okay, so this Bible that we are given today by Protestants, you are agreeing it's missing books.
Yeah, they remove.
Okay,
they
thank
remove
you.
Some books.
Okay, good.
The context of it, because there's a historical context of it.
Because we get Christians here that say that Catholics are pagans. Christian, you can watch the videos. Go to One Message on. They say you guys worship Mary, you worship saints, right?
We do not worship saints.
Look,
we worship one God, God alone.
God alone, one God.
Saints are creatures. You can't worship creatures.
I'm with you. I like you. You got a little Muslim feel to you, bro. All right, yeah. So it's all right. Just keep on coming, man. You're coming.
But I'm saying, there's historical context here. The reason why Protestants removed those books, not because they're not true or they're not good, because back then, what happens with the Reformation, people like Martin Luther, Calvin, Zwingli, all of them were trying to lead people away from the teachings, basically, of the church.
Okay.
So those 7 books that you're talking about that they removed taught a lot of Catholic doctrines. And if they were gonna make an English translation, give it to the people are gonna read like, wait, well, you say you don't need priests, you don't need the prayer of the dead, but then the Bible says
there,
it.
right.
So they removed those books out because they taught too many Catholic doctrines. He wanted to remove the book of Hebrews because it's all about the Mass.
Interesting.
Priesthood. He wanted to remove the book of Revelation because of the prayer of the saints, but they told him you can't do that.
So who wrote Hebrews? Since you brought that up.
We don't know who wrote Hebrews because we don't have a manuscript that says it, but from the teaching of the church and tradition, we know that it was a message, or Paul preached it, and from what we know is Luke wrote it. So we don't know exactly, but it is, because the way you read it, it's very Paul.
So I have a study Bible, right? And I just want to, because you seem to know a lot, so I just want to confirm. It says, the author of Hebrews is unknown. It could have been Paul, or Barnabas, or Silas, or Apollos, or Luke, or Philip, or Priscilla, or Aquila, or the Clement of Rome. These all have been suggested. I mean, I'm just reading to you. I'm not. It's not my qawl. I'm just reading, right?
Clement lived a long way after.
Right. But what is understood is it is an anonymous book. Right?
It is an anonymous book.
So that's
Like I said,
interesting.
it was probably-
You're gonna base your aqidah on a book that we don't even know who wrote.
Don't base my aqidah on.
So it's part of your Bible, isn't it?
Just because part of it doesn't mean that based
So
on.
you don't base your aqidah on the Bible?
No, we believe.
Okay,
no,
gotcha.
Remember, I think you might talk to way too many Protestants.
I talk to a lot of Protestants. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, that doctrine of we only believe what the Bible says, every single word is true, no error. That's a heresy. And
I like you, bro. Come closer, man. Come closer. I don't have corona. Don't worry about it. My name is Uthman, Habib. Naseeb.
Yeah.
So let me just
finish.
let me clarify, and you keep on. I want to listen to you. I just want to clarify. So Protestants believe that the Bible is perfect without error is a heresy.
No.
Okay. That's why I wanted to be clear, right?
Okay. Protestants believe a doctrine known as sola scriptura, which means scripture alone.
Gotcha.
That doctrine is a heresy to all apostolic Christians.
Gotcha.
Talking about all Catholics, Orthodox, Coptics, Middle Eastern Christians. Every single apostolic Christian that's been around for 2,000 years.
So Christians are heretics. The Protestants. Sorry.
No, that doctrine. That doesn't mean they're heretics.
Well, if you follow heresy, doesn't that make you a heretic?
Well, not all of them do. You know, Protestants there's 30,000 different kinds.
Gotcha.
Each one.
So
I don't like what you say about this Bible. I'm gonna build my own church. I don't like what you say. He builds his own thing.
So those that do that are heretics.
That doctrine.
Okay,
that
gotcha.
Doctrine
All right, gotcha. I'm
is a
good.
heresy. We don't
Okay.
believe in that. We believe in scripture.
They're people of
and
bid'ah.
tradition. I'm gonna put it to you in a very simple way.
Go ahead.
Sunnis believe in the Sunnah.
Yes, we do.
Hadith.
Yes, we do.
Which is the Hadith. The
Yeah, of
Quran
course.
stuff. Okay. Imagine that's kind of like how Catholics are. We have the oral tradition and we have scripture. Protestants
Good question.
only scripture, like no Hadith whatsoever, like Quran is. In a simple way.
Man, you are on it, bro. I haven't met you. You're from San Diego?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so let me, first we just understand, right? So those Protestants that reject the oral traditions that you're talking about, that's a heresy though, right?
It's a heresy to believe in sola scriptura.
Gotcha. And Jehovah's Witnesses are not Christian, right?
Jehovah's Witnesses are not Christian.
Mormons?
Jehovah's Witnesses believe Jesus and Shaitan are brother.
Wow.
Yeah, we have
Astaghfirullah, right? I think me and you will go against them on both of us, man,
and
right?
Mormons believe that every single one is a god, and there's millions of gods out there. Each one has sex with some invisible woman, and
Infinite
creates his
amount.
own planet. They're not Christian.
All right.
Anybody can claim they're Christian. But
I'm with you on this one. So far, so good. All right. So let's keep going here, right? So you believe in the Bible, but you believe it could have errors.
No, I don't believe it has error.
Okay. So then,
If you're talking about like translation errors, stuff like that, that's any scribe can make that mistake.
so the question here gets to be: the Bible that we have today, does it have copyist errors in print today?
It could have.
It could have. Like, for example, how did Judas die?
That's a tough one.
Is it? It should be an easy one, right?
No, it's actually it's
All right.
not as simple as you think. We know he committed suicide,
Okay.
but we don't know how he died. Now Matthew tells us he committed suicide, but that's all he says.
Okay.
But
So
Luke tells us something different because Luke was an actual doctor,
Gotcha.
a physician, so he probably went into more details of what happened.
So I don't find Matthew's account of Judas's death. What I found is in Acts. Now this man purchased a field with the wages of iniquity, and falling headlong, he burst. Right, but there's no suicide. It's just falling headlong, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. But Acts is written by Luke.
By Luke.
Yes.
Okay, but that's interesting because the other account is also in Luke, right?
Yeah, but
So Luke gives two different contradictory accounts. You just said it was Matthew.
It's not a contradiction. You gotta listen.
I am listening, but you said Matthew earlier.
Yes, we have.
But you just said these are both from Luke. Okay, go ahead. Fadal, Luke, go ahead.
We are told that he committed suicide.
Okay.
After betraying Jesus, he committed suicide.
But Matthew
don't
says
know
he
how.
hung himself, right?
That's suicide.
No, but you do know how because he says he hung himself.
That's what I'm saying. It's suicide.
But
What do you think? He's gonna shoot himself with a gun? There was
no,
guns
but
back.
you just said we don't know how.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay.
But we don't know how he died. Now Matthew tells us he committed suicide, but that's all he says. I said we are told.
I'm glad we're recording this, bro. All right, go ahead.
I think you're.
I'm not getting you. I'm not getting you. Oh,
I said
okay.
Matthew told us he committed suicide, did I not?
And then you said, but we don't know how. You guys heard it or no? Okay. Go ahead.
We don't know what happened afterwards, is what I'm saying, because Luke tells us he burst himself open. So he could have hung himself, been there for a few hours, tree could have fell off, he could have fell off, broken stuff. We don't know, is what I'm telling you. I'm saying we don't know because we weren't there. what we're told is that he committed suicide, but
Okay.
Luke, being a doctor and physician, probably went into more details about falling, bursting his stomach.
That's not suicide, falling, right? When you fall, like let's say you're walking and you fall headlong.
Same
Right? No, let me just, okay. I listen to you, Habibi. Hayyakum Allah. Tayyib. So let's say you're running up those stairs, mashallah, you seem like you're in good shape. And you are, but you're better than me. Don't worry about it. No, it's good, man. I'll keep them on, right? So you fall headlong. Headlong means that your head goes first, right? So you fall headlong and you rip open your entrails. That's not suicide, but in Matthew, we have a very clear indication. Then he threw down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. Right? Here he threw the pieces of silver down. In Acts he bought land with it. So which one is it?
I'm saying,
Don't know.
We
don't know. So there's a contradiction, obviously, right? You can't buy land and throw the money away.
That's not a
It's not?
contradiction.
Okay.
I'm saying that Matthew tells us he committed suicide by hanging himself.
Okay.
Okay, Luke tells us what happened afterward because being the doctor, he probably went into more detail. I'm just saying that he would have hanged himself. This is not Bible, this is me, Zim talking. He hanged himself, he's dead, a few hours, tree falls, he falls, bursts open.
But that's not falling headlong.
Chef.
No, I'm serious. Like
There is no doctor in the world today
Uh-huh.
will tell you somebody walking, running, falls, his internals will pop out.
Oh,
It's
sure.
impossible.
Let me explain it. So now, if you are running on a piece of land, not just on flat land, right? And you fall headlong, whatever your injuries that hit you in your stomach will rip your stomach open, right? So they could definitely. You got to go talk to a
There's no
doctor.
that'll tell you
All right.
if I fall, even if it's like a sharp rock like this, it would pierce my stomach.
Yeah,
but
and
not-
your
not-
entrails will fall out.
All my organs would pop out.
All right. Let me ask you another question.
That might be an exaggeration.
Who's the father of Joseph? The father of who is the supposed father of Jesus in the worldly sense, right?
He doesn't have a father.
Joseph doesn't have a father.
Joseph is not his father.
The supposed father, the husband of Mary. Who's his father?
Joseph.
Who's the father?
Oh, Joseph's father.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, so here in Matthew, you have Jacob begotten Joseph, the husband of Mary.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So who's the father?
According to that genealogy, yeah.
Okay. So who's the father?
Whatever you say, Jacob.
Whatever I say, whatever the Bible says, bro.
Well,
It's
you
not.
read it. I'm saying,
Oh, you read it, bro.
I trust you when you say
Okay.
Jacob. I say,
I got it right here. Okay. In Luke, it says Jesus himself began his ministry at about 30 years of age, being the supposed, which is in parenthesis, son of Joseph, son of Heli. So who's the father, Jacob or Heli?
No, because you have to understand something.
Go ahead, bro.
In the Hebrew or
Dance away.
Arabic,
I'm listening.
I'm just saying, you can say, for example, somebody's father, or you can use like what you know as Ashira name.
Tell you.
So Yaqub could be his literal father, and that could be like his generation. I'm just saying we don't know because what we do know though,
You do realize there's a contradiction, right? Come on.
it's not a contradiction.
Let's be honest.
Okay, can you name me one scholar you read on the genealogies of Jesus? Name one book.
Sure. Right here, MacArthur.
MacArthur goes into the genealogy
he
of
does.
Jesus, and
He
what
does.
does he tell you?
He says that there are
He tells
many.
you? No.
Can I? You want me to read it from you?
I'm
By the way, I've read many scholars on this, including Bart Ehrman, including others, and I have a video on this. So
That's fine. Habibi, I'm saying they're using different genealogies. One is using the genealogy of Mary, and one is using the genealogy of Joseph.
So when you
That's
say
what I'm saying.
so when you say begotten, how could that be for Mary?
No, begotten just means he was brought forth.
Begotten doesn't mean that you're born from.
Not really. Begotten in Greek is monogamous.
I see, this is where you're-
means to bring.
This is where we start dancing, right?
Not-
So
well, I just gave you the original
so look at
Greek.
this. Look
One
at this,
second,
right?
one second, Chef.
Go ahead.
Did you
Habibi.
just listen to what I just said?
Yes.
What did I say?
You said that begotten doesn't necessarily mean born, but brought forth, right?
Because begotten is an English translation. Because the Greek says monogamous.
Okay.
It means to bring forth.
Okay.
That's the Greek. And we don't.
Okay.
In English, they use begotten, which is
So
fine.
Abraham begot Isaac, so he just brought forth Isaac. Isaac's not his son. Isaac begotten Jacob.
He wasn't
That's
his son.
so
Bring
same.
forth.
The same word is used throughout the genealogy. How come one of them? It is. Look,
Because they'll.
I have the Greek Bible too. Don't worry, bro. Like I know what you're trying to do, but look. So far, you've been so honest. You've been so honest that I really feel bad you going down this path. Listen,
You're not
listen.
even listening to what I'm saying.
I have been listening. Let me.
Monogamous means to bring forth.
Okay,
It
so-
doesn't mean to, like he physically gave birth.
Okay.
Abraham is a dude. He can't give birth.
Well, Jacob is a dude. He can't give birth
Yeah,
either.
he can't. Yeah. So monogamous means to bring forth.
Okay. So is here the meaning? Let me just ask you here. Is the meaning here
you know what I mean
Isaac?
by bring forth?
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
when you say God's only begotten son, and you say that means a physical son, that's interesting that you
No,
twist.
he's not his, no, that again is wrong. We don't believe Jesus is physically God's son.
Oh, that's interesting. So
Because
Jesus
he
is
doesn't
not.
have a wife. He can't be physical.
Gotcha. So Jesus is not physically son of God.
Physically, no, he's not.
So how is he the son of God?
He has the title of the Son of God, but not physically like the grounds that God didn't have a wife.
Good.
He's not
Okay,
like
so
born from a
this is
woman.
new. This is new because most Catholics that we speak to still say that he's a physical son of God. So that's something.
Well, you have to understand.
you sure you're not Muslim?
Understanding? No, I'm not. Maybe they're
Close,
misunderstanding what
inshallah.
you're saying.
Gotcha. So let me ask
They
you then,
misunderstand what you're saying.
so I
He's
can
the Son
understand.
of God. That's his title. He's the eternal Son of God, which
So,
means that
but
he's
not physically.
always existed as the Son
Okay.
of the Father.
So he is a son,
Yes, he's
like
the
actual
son
son.
of the Father, not physical. He's eternally is the Son.
Okay, so you're
When you
confused.
say physical,
Right.
we all know what mean physical.
No,
Dude,
not necessarily.
women,
Not
that's
necessarily.
physical.
So let me give you. Allah can do anything, right? Allah doesn't have to have physical relations to have a son, right? According to your understanding. What my question to you
We don't
is:
know that. The only thing we do know is that Jesus,
do you think Allah does have physical?
Jesus has always been the Son. He never becomes a son. He's always the eternal Son of the Father.
Okay, so let me ask you this, okay? Here, you have the book of the opening of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. So now the genealogy begins with the word begotten that you're using, right? Abraham begot Isaac. Is Isaac the son of Abraham?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Isaac begotten Jacob. Is Jacob the son of Isaac?
Yes, he is.
Okay. And then Jacob begotten Judah and his brothers. Are they physically sons?
Yeah, different wives, but yeah.
Okay, so now throughout the genealogy, the word begotten you're using for son. When it comes here, you change the meaning.
I didn't change the meaning.
You
I
did.
said It means to bring forth.
So what does it mean all here? It means that he brought forth, or they were his sons?
Yeah, bring forth means his children. Like I
Okay,
brought forth my
excellent. So
children.
bring forth means his children. So
Yes.
Jacob begotten Joseph, so that is his son.
Not physical son, because this is in the Bible.
So your children are not physical kids of yours?
You're completely misunderstanding what I'm saying. That is a genealogy. He's telling you the ancestors of Joseph and Mary. In the entire Bible, we are told that Jesus is not the physical son of Joseph because Joseph is not his father. It's all over the Bible.
So this is not talking about Jesus. You know that, right? He didn't say Jesus begotten here, right? So
This is what I'm
go ahead.
saying.
I know. This is talking
The Bible
about
teaches that Joseph
Joseph
is not.
and Jacob. That's a discussion.
Yes, Joseph
It's all right.
is the adopted father because he was betrothed to Mary. But he's not his
It's
father.
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
No, I'm talking about the Joseph like
I like.
the adopted father.
I like to
I'm not
see
talking
you.
about Joseph, Jacob's son.
He's not talking about that either, but it's okay. I like your dancing, so let's go more. Isaiah was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. How old was he? You can.
Isaiah?
Yeah.
He's always been 22.
Okay. Excellent.
I love this part. He's 42. Come on, let's go.
There you go. So here, Isaiah was 42 when he became king, and he reigned for 1 year.
It's only in that translation because it was a Masoretic error.
Oh, really?
Actually, read
Okay.
that-
So let me read another translation.
No, I'll show you all the translations.
Okay,
They
excellent.
all say 22
Excellent.
except those.
Go for it. Show them to me.
Give me the verse.
It's Isaiah is 2 Kings
But that's the one he says he's 22.
8:26. Okay.
Chronicles.
The second one is in 2 Chronicles
That says 42.
22:2.
22.
Yeah. 2 Chronicles, by the way.
Second Chronicles. What's the chapter verse? 22.
22:2.
Okay.
All right. Good. Can I see?
Second Chronicles 22:2.
Yeah.
New International Version, Ahaziah was 22.
Excellent.
New Living Translation, Ahaziah was 22. English Standard Version, Ahaziah was 22. Bible Study, Ahaziah was 22. King James says 42. So that was
Can
a
I see
Masoretic.
it?
Yeah, that was
So-
a Masoretic.
So King James 42, New American Standard Version back to
They all say
22.
22 except
Excellent.
Lexis Receptus that thing was translated from because they had a
Excellent. So now we do agree that the King James Version has a copyist error in it?
That one.
The King James Standard, that's the one that's mostly used in the world, right? King James Version? That is the standard. Really? That's interesting.
Because
Okay.
you're looking only in America, Habibi.
I know, actually, I've looked in other countries.
Catholics and Orthodox outweigh 10 times more than Protestants.
Even the Catholic priest that I used to study with gave me a King James Version.
Yeah, because that's probably what you see here.
All right, we good, bro.
Remember, our Bible's not in English.
Excellent, excellent. Let's see if you can help me with some more. 2 Samuel 24:9. Okay. Then Jacob gave the sum of the number of the people to the king, and there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men who drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 500,000. So how many? 800,000 Israel. Judah's how many?
Right, but I'm saying, what does this have to do with Jesus?
Sure, I got you, bro. Relax. We'll get to it.
You got to shift it completely different place.
No. The whole discussion.
Jesus,
Yes,
genealogy,
because you couldn't answer genealogy. I didn't want to hop on it because you used the word begot one way throughout the whole genealogy and then switched it up when it was a clear contradiction.
You completely
All right.
misunderstood what I said. I said
First Chronicles.
It's monogamy,
First Chronicles 22:5. Then Jacob gave the sum of the number of the people of David. All Israel had was 1,100,000 men who drew the sword, and Judah had 470,000. So we went from 800,000 to 1,100,000, and we went from 500,000 to 470. Is that another contradiction?
Why would it be a contradiction?
Those are clearly different numbers.
Yeah, but there are
Just a contradiction.
Different things in there.
Jacob is giving the number to King David. Same Jacob. You know it's a contradiction. Habibi.
I just showed you your contradiction was wrong, didn't I?
First thing. Let me answer. You said something.
Yeah, but I haven't
Go
even
ahead.
finished.
Fadal, finish.
The reason why I showed you that what you said about 22:42 is wrong because that's the King James has a lot of copyist errors when it comes to numbers.
Excellent.
That is also in the same manuscript, so it could have been.
So can you look this one up in yours? And if you find the same number, no, you have your phone. You just looked it up on your phone,
You
right?
made yours as an error.
No. Okay. So here, look up 2 Kings, and if the same number contradiction is on your phone in all of them, then you'll admit there's a contradiction, right?
I'm not saying that it's a contradiction or no contradiction. I'm saying that's the copyist error. But that has
Okay, so that's their errors in the Bible, even the one that you have
That's not my
then.
Bible, Habibi.
Okay, so look it up.
Don't use this.
But the one you used to show me that the King James version is wrong.
That's not what I just showed you in all the other manuscripts.
Okay, so let's look up all other manuscripts here. 2 Samuel.
Oh, 2 Samuel.
24:9.
$800,000, 500,000, 800,000, 500,000.
All the translations?
Oh, they're saying 800,000, 500,000.
Okay, so I'm just saying because I don't want you to.
No,
Good, I
I'm
appreciate
saying- I'm
it.
showing
Thank
you.
you. 1 Chronicles 21:5. First Chronicles 21:5.
$1,100,000 and 470,000
All of the translations?
so far, yeah. In that Chronicles, yeah.
So now you do see a clear contradiction, right?
It doesn't have to be a contradiction. It's a variant, but it doesn't have to be a contradiction.
Okay, let me ask.
Can I?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. When you're reading the book of Kings and Chronicles, those were written by two different places, which was called back in the day. So you had the kingdom of Judah,
Okay.
which was the southern kingdom of Judah, and then you had Israel, which was the northern kingdom.
Got it.
So one tells the story from the northern perspective, one tells the story from Judah's perspective. So someone could be over-exaggerating stuff, but I don't
So what we can, from what you just explained, and we're not even going to go to authorship now because I can look that up and all that kind of stuff, but you do agree that one of them is wrong, right? Because
No, I'm saying I don't know.
You
I
don't
haven't
know?
studied enough to know.
so you just, I mean, so
I'm saying I haven't studied.
so numbers.
I don't wanna lie to you and say something I don't
I appreciate that, bro. What I'm saying is, you go home, look it up. Like, go home and study it.
Because these things have nothing to do with.
But see, they do. Let me explain that, right? When you have a book that clearly has man's perspectives contradicting each other, okay, then you cannot base on that book the truth, because you know it has some errors in it. The Quran. Hold on. Let me just finish, Habibi. I'll let you finish.
Sorry.
We appreciate your good etiquettes. We believe our aqidah on the Quran that doesn't have any of these types of contradictions, right? Otherwise, show us. We're here, apparent or hidden, any time of the week, bro. I'm here.
With me, but
Gotcha. You're in San Diego, bro. I'm at Ribat. Come on down. I've put this challenge out for years, right? So what I'm saying is to you, I will get you an Arabic Quran if you have. Okay, so read it.
I do.
And tell me this: a book that has no contradictions, right? A book that is preserved, that was memorized word by word, letter by letter, by many of the Sahaba, was by consensus, carbon dated copies to the first generation, many manuscripts, and I'll get you proof on it. Don't worry, I got you, bro. And it's not just one, right? I mean,
Because I went to Islamic University and then we studied it. So the paper is dated,
Right?
but not the script.
Excellent.
That's
Excellent.
what we're talking. If I'm mistaken, then I'm sorry.
I got
That's
you.
what we were
But
talking
you were dating based off writing style,
Yes.
right? So writing style also shows it to be from the time of the companions, right? Because Arabic writing styles also changed.
Companions, but not Muhammad.
So that is the first generation, right? Now, on top of that, the Birmingham Quran is carbon dated to the lifetime of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? On top of that is not, but Sana'a is complete. Now, on top of that, we have the names of those Sahaba. I had, I think, 30 something that I mentioned that I can historically show you evidence from Kutub al-Rijal that they memorized the entire Quran in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Great.
Excellent.
Memory skills.
Excellent.
But I'm saying
So one thing you would agree with me is the Quran is perfectly preserved in memory by the companions, right? How is that? Was there any khilaf when Zayd ibn Thabit put together the Mus'haf for Abu Bakr or Uthman?
No, but there were some people that forgotten some verses. Some
Excellent, of course, but
we burned whatever
excellent
way of writing.
That was after Uthman, right? But no, Umar didn't compile the Quran, bro. Come on, what happened to university?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. It's all right, man. It's been a while.
I'm going Arabic.
I got you. It's all right, bro. We cool. Don't worry about it. So the Quran was memorized. If somebody forgot an ayah, it wasn't one person, right? There was a shura headed by Zayd ibn Thabit who required 2 shuhud, including written from the time of the Prophet ﷺ, to compile, and the Sahaba came to ijma', consensus. So that is a pretty preserved book. Excellent.
Just because something is preserved doesn't mean it's true.
Excellent. Now, let me ask you this. As you know and you've studied, you know about the splitting of the moon.
I mean, it's a supposed miracle.
Excellent, supposed, right? So, who saw it? All right, I'll tell you what. If I can prove to you that not only, do you know what mutawatir is, since you studied in Islamic University? What's mutawatir?
Like mutawatir hadith you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like fully attested, 2 or more witnesses on each. Well, I mean,
Close,
I don't know the exact
So,
science of it.
so mutawatir is not just 2. 2 would be aziz. 3 would be mashhur, and so on, but that will be all under ahad. Mutawatir is so many reports that it cannot be scientifically, numerically alive because they didn't know each other, different tribes and all that, right? If I can show you mutawatir ahadith that people witness, not just Muslims, but the enemies of the Prophet ﷺ, about the Quraysh who never became Muslim attested to it, and those that were mushrik at the time that became Muslim attested to it, and tribes that were outside of Mecca attested to it, and Anas bin Malik in Medina attested to it. And even though they will not match our hadith checking skills, but people in India, kings in India, is according to their oral and written documents, saw it. So would you agree that the moon did split?
I wouldn't say
With all that evidence?
But I would say they might have been confused on what they saw.
Okay, so now let me ask you this.
Because we know scientifically, if you split the moon in half, the earth is done for.
No,
just from the gravity.
it's not. Let me explain it to you. Habibi. Because I don't want you to make a fool out of yourself. I just want to help you, okay? I have a video on this. Watch it. The NASA's research shows that at one time the moon was 2 pieces.
That's before there were humans.
Hold on. Let me explain this. NASA does not date it. Okay? NASA cannot date it because they have no evidence for dating it. All NASA is telling you that a time there are two halves of the moon, not just the Earth's moon, other moons as well, that have two distinct sides. And as you know, the moon has cracks all around it, right? Which we cannot say necessarily. NASA's not in the job of proving or disproving religion. But what they do say that these were two halves that were put together. So
that was
now,
way back in
once again,
the moon himself was a part of the Earth and it got split.
Once again, NASA does not date it, does it? They do not date. NASA makes it up.
So you believe the universe is 13.8 billion years
No,
old?
because NASA can't prove that either.
But they say it.
No. Let me explain this. There's a difference between a theory and what's observed. What they have observed with evidences, and it's in my video, you can watch it, is there are two distinct sides of the moon. So there was a time when this was split. Now, when it happened, NASA does not say. The NASA is not saying. Okay, so there you go. Sure. So don't think the splitting of the moon, the Earth would be done. But what I'm saying is, as a miracle.
I'm talking about humanity because of all the gravitational pulls and the tides and the water and the ocean, something that big.
Yeah.
If the moon split today, we'd all die.
Sure, but that's why it's a miracle.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
saying, you can say
So
that.
now what I'm saying is, if I can bring you evidences from not just the Prophet ﷺ, not just in Mecca, not just in Medina, not just in the Arabian Peninsula, everybody was fooled.
I'm not saying they were fools.
Right? Everybody was confused.
I'm not saying they're confused. I'm just saying just because someone saw something, there could have been other natural explanations.
Like what? How does the moon split and come together? What natural explanation do you have? Come on,
I'm
bro.
saying it might not have been split.
Okay.
It might have been something that happened.
So the hadith says split into two sections, including the mushrikeen, right? Mountain between them. We saw them separate and come back together. And they had asked for it. It wasn't like he just said, hey, guess what, guys? Let's do it, right? Rasul said, ask for a miracle. What do you want to see? What will you believe? They said, yes, if you split the moon. He made dua, Allah split it. Now, Anas ibn Malik was in Medina. Go ahead. Faddal, Habib.
I don't know. From I remember from school back in the days, but didn't Allah say to Muhammad that he will not perform miracles in front of them?
No, that is incorrect, right? People misunderstand this from the Quran.
I remember.
Sure, I got you. The issue is that people ask for miracles. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed them that this Quran is a miracle in and of itself. And even if Allah gives miracles, many people, they will not believe. But no doubt the Prophet ﷺ had miracles, and the scholars of Islam, ijma'an, by consensus, have said there are mu'jizat al-Nabi. Right? Alayhi salatu wasalam. Right? So, we have like books like Dalal al-Nabuwa, which maybe you studied or maybe you didn't, right? It's Bayhaqi. There are the Sahih ones, very nice. You should get it. Right?
We read the Arabic ones, I don't know.
This is in Arabic. Oh, no, Dalal al-Nabuwa is Arabic, bro. That's not English.
No, I'm saying like, back in the day we read all that.
أنا أتكلم بالعربي وأنا أقرأ في العربي. الحمد لله. يعني I also read only in Arabic. I don't like English myself, right? Even though I'm not a native Arab, right? Yeah, excellent. But now, if we can show you repeated, proven miracles through mutawatir hadith, first-hand reports from the enemies of the Prophet ﷺ and friends, from the Sahaba and others, right? You have to admit there is something.
I'm not saying there isn't something, but that doesn't.
So miracles don't move anything. Preservation doesn't mean anything. What would you?
You can preserve something. You can potentially think that's a miracle. But doesn't.
But you have a book that clearly has numeric copyist errors, and then you have a book with no errors. Which one would you want to rely on?
I don't rely. That's what I'm
At all?
So
you don't take in consideration.
Okay. Church. So we have the oral tradition.
Excellent. So let's check the oral tradition according to the hadith science.
Our faith is not based just on the Bible alone.
Gotcha.
Because the church was. Let me explain this to you.
I'm listening.
When the apostles went out and they preached, people became what you would call today Christian. New churches well built. There was no Bible, but they were alive. So I'm saying the Bible is a book written by the church, to the church, for the church.
Excellent.
That's all it is. The church was alive, the teaching was alive, Christianity was all over the world before even that Bible was compiled.
Okay, so we do agree, so hold on, I just want to agree that this Bible is not from the time of Jesus. It was written later by the church.
I don't know which translation you're talking about.
You just said the Bible was not.
When we say okay, can you tell me when I say the Bible, what do you think I mean?
The Bible, the books like John, Matthew, Luke, all these.
The Bible is just from the Greek bibliotheca. It just means a library, a collection of ancient documents. That's all.
Sure. Okay.
So when you say a Bible, it's
so
just a collection of documents.
That collection is not from the time of Jesus. You just said that, right? It was written by the church later.
No, the church has. I'm talking about you have to understand.
I am trying to understand.
When you laugh, because
No, it lost because I'm throwing me off because you say one thing and then you jump away from it.
Can you give me the definition of a church?
Okay, a place of worship.
Wrong.
Okay, what's your definition?
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, no, wait, hold on. When you say wrong, be careful, because if you looked up a dictionary, you would find a definition similar to it, all right? Okay.
Church is just a, okay, look up the Greek word ecclesia.
You asked church, right? So I'm going to give you the...
Greek.
Okay. You did not ask me about a Greek translation.
Church is a translation of the Greek word ecclesia.
Okay. What was the question? What is the definition of church? Read it. A building or public building used for Christian worship. Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said.
Read it. Keep reading.
Okay.
Look at the
Sure. There are many definitions. So, a body, organization of religious believers.
That is the definition that we have.
Okay, excellent.
I'm saying.
Okay, so a body of religious.
Right.
So I want to understand your. They collected and put together this Bible, not from the time of Jesus then.
No, the Gospels, the letters of Paul. Well, Christ had already died and resurrected when that happened. So these
not according to us, but yeah.
Well, different beliefs.
True. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah. So all these letters that were being circulated in the church back then, they were circulating at the time Paul wrote them. But we didn't have what's called a book back then. You have to understand, the book was discovered hundreds of years later, what you would call today a book.
So who wrote those letters?
Which one?
Hebrews, for example.
Like I told you from the beginning,
we don't know.
It was a sermon given by Paul, but written by Luke, because it's Pauline in nature.
So, for example, let's go with, I don't know, Mark. Who wrote Mark? Mark, for whom it is the gospel is named, was not an apostle of Jesus, but rather an apostle of Peter, and reoccurring character in the book of Acts. He's known as John, whose surname is Mark. It is also Mark's mother in Jerusalem that Peter went and released from prison. Not Mark, the one with Jesus. Right? So let me ask you this. It's okay, I got you. Let me ask you something, okay? As a Catholic, you're Catholic, right?
Yeah, not Roman Catholic.
Didn't say Roman, it's a Catholic. Okay. As a Catholic. Middle Eastern Christian, right?
Been around for a long time, way before Protestants.
I'm sure you have, right? What is your core belief?
Believe that there is only one God.
Only one God.
Only one God.
We're with you so far. Good. No kids, no roommates, no three then.
We don't believe in three gods. There's no such thing as three gods. There's
Excellent.
only one God, but there are three persons who share that nature. Now, this is different Christian doctrines.
Now I'm getting confused.
You're not getting confused.
I am because
I mean,
so
you could be getting confused.
yeah, I am. I'm not saying you are.
I'm saying.
So one God, always been one.
Yeah, one God.
Okay. Then, but that one has like three entities in it.
I wouldn't say the word entities.
What would you say? Because this is
When we
confusing.
say there's only one God, we're talking about the essence of God. There's only one essence of God. But we are told through Revelation there are three persons that share that essence. They're not three different gods. It's the same God in three persons because they have.
So do they talk to each other?
Do they talk to each other?
Like does one worship the other?
In eternity, there's no way we can know because it wasn't revealed. What we do know is when the eternal Son incarnate, when he came down and took on human flesh, yes, as his human nature would worship the Father.
So now he was separate from the Father because he was worshiping. How do you worship the same thing then? Was he worshiping himself?
No, he's worshiping the Father. The Father
So that is
and Son are
separate
not the same
then.
thing.
Okay, the Father and Son are not the same thing.
God, they're different persons. There's the difference between nature.
So you know this is confusing, right?
To me,
Come
it's
on.
not.
Okay, let me ask you again. So there's one God, but there are three
persons that share that essence, that Godhead,
but one of them worships the other.
in his human nature.
Okay, so that means it is separate because he's worshiping something. He's not worshiping himself, is
What do you
he?
mean by separate?
Tell you.
Maybe
Okay.
I'm confused.
Do you worship God?
Yes, I do.
Okay. That means you,
At least I do.
Inshallah, I hope you worship Allah.
best of my
Right?
ability.
Okay. You do worship, you pray, right? So you are praying to a God. Right? That is your God. You're not worshiping yourself, right? Okay. So if you were praying to yourself, let's say you were like, I mean, I'm not saying you are, but let's say you were.
I'd be confused and put in a straitjacket.
Thank you.
But Jesus never.
Thank you. Wait, say that again. That was wonderful. Excellent. If you were praying to yourself, you'd be confused and put on a straitjacket. So if Jesus prayed to the Father, he's not worshiping himself, so he's worshiping the Father. Okay, so there's one Jesus worshiping another one, the Father.
Jesus in a human nature.
Okay, but now he
Does
is.
the Father have a human nature?
Look, you asked me, let me tell you. I don't believe there's three. I don't believe there are three. I believe there's only one Allah. He doesn't worship himself. He doesn't. It's not a Lego set. He doesn't separate. He doesn't come back together. Look, let me speak. Let me speak.
Christian ever says that.
Let me
No
speak.
Christian ever says they're separate.
Look, bro, you asked me. You asked me. So let me answer, right? I don't believe God will ever be in any sense lower than angels. But you do find in the Bible, in Hebrews chapter 2:9, but we see Jesus who was made a little lower than angels for the suffering of death, right? But was he God at this time?
He's always been God.
So God was lower than angels.
In his human nature, he took on that
You
role.
think God was lower than angels
Are
ever?
you going to be consistent?
I am.
What you
Go
just
ahead.
read right now.
Right?
Previously, it said that he is God.
Where? So
Previously, it said he is God. So are you going to be consistent?
No. My question is not. Let me answer. Sure. Can I answer? Sure. My consistency is that I'm reading to you what I read. I don't believe this is the word of God, right? But my question to you is whether you call him God or not is not the point. My question is that do you believe that who could be considered God would ever be lower than angels?
Yes, he took on that role.
Wow, that is surprising to me, to be honest with you.
Because that's a concept that you don't have in Islam. Which I
Alhamdulillah, we don't.
Yeah, well, alhamdulillah.
I just said
We'll find
alhamdulillah.
out at the end of time then. But I'm saying that God took on that role because of our sinful nature.
Okay.
He lowered himself. That's why if you read the letters of Paul,
Sure.
he said that he humbled himself.
So God became lower than angels by his own choice, you're saying?
In his human nature, he took on that role to become a sacrifice for his
But he did
people.
become lower than angels, and he was still God.
It's talking about his human nature, because human nature is lower than an angel. An
I
angel
asked you, was he God at this time? And you said yes.
he's always been God.
Okay, so then God, during his time, according to you, on earth, was lower than angels.
But it's referring to his human nature.
Okay.
Because if you keep reading,
Okay, I mean, you're kind of going in a loop, so I'm going to...
Okay, can you read 2 Philippians chapter
Hold
2,
on,
verse
let me
5?
just read one more
Hold
verse.
on, you said
Okay, go ahead. I got you, bro. Faddal, which verse would you like me to read? Here, you read it. There you go.
I'm explaining to you why he was lower than
I'm listening.
lower than the angels.
I just want to understand.
That's a lot of stickers there.
I read the Bible a lot.
I wouldn't be reading this one.
Give me yours, I'll read yours.
Read the Aramaic? I'll bring you.
I'll learn.
I'll bring you.
Okay, seriously. Although I'm pretty sure that verse is the same in Aramaic, right?
I'll check.
Okay, cool.
And then you have to remember.
Bring me one, I would love to read it. I have a whole section.
You have to remember something. Jesus spoke Aramaic. All his apostles spoke Aramaic.
I agree.
His words in Aramaic would have a lot more meaning.
I agree. You know, Christians we see, Protestants, keep telling us that they spoke Greek. And we keep telling them they were Aramaic-speaking people, right? But they didn't write in Greek, right? That wasn't their...
No, you have to understand something. If let's say Peter or Matthew wanted to write something to a church, let's say somewhere in Greece,
Sure.
they don't know Greek, they had scribes to write for them. That's
Gotcha.
what Luke
But we
was.
don't know those
Paul,
scribes,
that's-
right?
yeah, we
Not
do.
all of them, right? Hebrews, for example, we don't know who wrote it.
Well, we're told, again, remember, I have not explained anything to you
read your
from
verse.
Oral tradition. Oral tradition.
I'm going to be getting to that.
Because we have
That's
church
very
fathers.
interesting to me.
That's it. That was a sermon given by Paul, written by Luke. Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem, we got it.
It was a sermon given by Paul.
Find your verse first, bro.
Sorry, I'm not used to English ordering.
Take your time. Don't be stressed out, bro.
No, I'm not stressed.
All right. Would you like a chair? So get the man a chair, man.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
It's okay.
Thank you, I'm good.
Give him a chair. It's okay. It's okay. And the 2 minutes that you're here, we want you to be comfortable.
No, Habib, I'm good. I swear.
I got you. Put the chair for the man.
Nervous? Oh, I'm from the Middle East.
Nah, you don't know what nervous is, man. He's hardcore like that. Look at that, man.
Nervous. Oh, you walk around with dead bodies back there. Talk about nervous.
We walk around dead bodies around here, man. You haven't been raised in Cali, bro.
Back home, bro. Sorry,
Salam alaikum. Jazakallah khair, habibi. Salam alaikum. Message him, inshallah. What you think.
Ordering is just a little bit. Let me just find out.
You want to do it later? No problem, bro. I got you. Go ahead.
Because the ordering, I'm not used to.
I understand, bro. I'm not putting any pressure on you, man.
In order to get to the point where you saw when you were doing whatever, that you were going to do that's okay. So, does that make you real? Now, don't answer that. I want you to think on it. No, I don't see. I just want you to think. I want you to think.
2 Philippians chapter 2.
Philippines or?
Philippines. That's a church in what's today Turkey.
Yeah.
So Paul's writing a letter to them, and he's telling them how to be humble, like how Christ was humble.
Paul never physically met Jesus, though, right?
Before his death? No. After his death, he met him. Yeah.
In a vision, not physically.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, you're saying Jesus.
I wasn't there.
Okay, but I just want to be clear.
He appeared to him, is what we know.
Okay, what I do know historically, that Paul, in the time of Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him, was not a Christian, right? After Jesus,
Paul has always been
he was killing Christians, or?
Paul has always been a Christian.
Wasn't Paul the one that used to persecute Christians before?
Okay. I said that as a joke. Paul has always been Christian. Saul was killing Christians. Because when he was killing Christians, his name was Saul. When he became a Christian, he changed his name to Paul.
Same person, though?
Yes.
Or we got two personalities in that one, too, now?
No.
All right, I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear. I got you. You're funny. I like it.
Okay,
so the same.
His name to Paul when he became Christian.
So the artist formerly known as Saul.
Saul, yeah, he was killing Christians.
He was killing Christians during the time of Jesus. But wait, so just to be clear, historically, according to you, it was after Jesus' death, and according to us, after Jesus was taken back to Allah, right? He converted after that. His vision, true or not, and we're not judging here.
No,
but
saying,
okay,
we were
gotcha.
told that he was going to following the Christians to Damascus, Dimashq, in Syria.
Gotcha.
Jesus appeared to him.
Could have been dreaming or a vision.
No,
you weren't there.
Jesus appeared to him. Whatever he appeared to him, though, he did.
Right, little shrooms, whatever.
Nah, I don't know about that.
No, you don't know about that. Me neither. I wasn't there.
Anyways, let's get back to this.
So what did Paul say?
He said, do not be selfish with ambition or conceit, but in humanity count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not into his own interest, but also to the interests of others. Have
nice.
this mind among yourselves, which was in Christ Jesus. Now he's talking about Jesus. Who, though he was in the form of God, calling him God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself.
I want to understand that. Did not count equality with God.
Yes, because he humbled
He
himself.
didn't consider himself equal with God.
No. You're misunderstanding the verse.
So that's why I'm asking.
So I'm going to read to you and I'm explaining it to you.
Okay.
Okay. Who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant. This is the lowering part of the thing.
He emptied himself, so he was no longer God.
No, emptied that quality has being the creator of the cosmos. He humbled himself.
Okay. So that's it. Okay. So I'm getting this now. Okay. So.
Let me just finish the verse.
But I don't understand that part. Why are you going to move forward? I want to understand it. Okay, go ahead.
That's like eating, the half an eye and then stop.
Go ahead. Faddal, Habibi, finish your verse.
Yeah, but emptied themselves by taking the form of a servant, being born. This is talking about, you're talking about lowering the angels. Emptied themselves by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of man, and being found in human form. He humbled himself.
Gotcha.
Not he was humble.
Okay.
Himself. He humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross.
Obedient to who?
To the Father.
Gotcha. So the Father is kind of the boss here then, right? I'm serious. When you're obedient to somebody, they're your boss, right?
He he chose.
I got
that
you.
role.
Let me just. That's what I'm trying to ask. Okay, let's say you choose. Go ahead.
Being born in the likeness of man and being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to point of death, even death
Mark,
on a cross.
Can you find me the verse? I just want to look at the.
Therefore, God has highly exalted him.
What is the verse? Philippians.
Philippians chapter 2. That's the first
Keep going and see if there's another one.
Five.
That right there.
And then,
We can't deny the decree. We can't deny the decree.
Right here saying.
so therefore God highly exalted him and bestowed on him the name that is above every name, so that the name of Jesus, every knee should bow in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and every tongue confesses that Jesus Christ is Lord.
Excellent. Okay, so first thing is not one verse. This is like a bunch of verses, right?
No, stars.
Yeah, okay. But no, I'm just saying you were like ayahs, not an ayah.
No, because you have to remember, there's
I
no
got
such thing
you.
as verse.
Gotcha.
Because this is something that we put to help us remember where things are.
Gotcha, okay.
So that's Paul's message to them.
I appreciate it.
Because
So
the
now-
number and chapter that
I got you. Okay. So let not be done in strife and valor. Look not every man at his own things, but every man also at things of others. Let him be mindful. Very nice, Kate. Being found in fashion of, okay, so, but made himself into no reputation and took upon the form of a servant. So he took on the form of a servant. So let's say you, I got you, hold on. So what was your Nasib? Nasib. Let's say Nasib, you voluntarily become my servant, right? Example. You choose it. So now that you've chosen it, I'm your boss, right?
It's everything free.
So now you are obedient to me by choice. So you are saying that Jesus became the servant of God, which is God, right? And he humbled himself and took on human form. So now he is a servant of the Father. He's not the same as the Father.
and is human Muslim.
Is it
Okay,
haram to
excellent.
steal?
So this is a good question, meaning that
Is it haram to
he,
have a girlfriend?
and then that in the name of Jesus, everybody should kneel.
How can you-
All right, brothers, can you listen? Can you guys ask them a little bit over there? We're in the middle of a conversation. All right. Tell you. So now at this time, Jesus has by choice become a servant of God, Abdullah, of the Father, right? And when he calls out, he says, "My God," right, on earth, right? But the Father doesn't say "My God" to Jesus, right? The Father calls Jesus "My God."
No, he calls him God.
Which verse is this?
I can do it right now.
The verse that you read that I told you to read in Hebrew.
In Philippians, right here.
Yeah, God. The Father calls Jesus God.
Where? That was a letter of Paul. That wasn't from God.
When I told you we were going to be consistent, when you
Sure.
read more than the angels.
Uh-huh.
Before that, God the Father called Jesus God.
So did he say "My God"?
He didn't say my God,
Okay,
but
so
that's why I say he called him God.
show me the verse so we can discuss that verse in Hebrews. Right? Sorry. Because one thing,
I like this verse.
look it up on your phone, bro. I'm not trying to.
We got to get you something new.
I'm ready. I got like a whole library shelf of different Bibles. Don't worry, man.
Different translations.
Different Bibles, because some of them have different chapters and verses that are not in others.
Somebody can take stuff out, but doesn't mean.
Sure. Okay. Now, one thing we have established that when Jesus was on earth, he was Abdullah, right?
That's it.
I'm not going to say that.
You just said that when I said he made himself voluntary, a servant of God.
How the concept of
No. In Arabic, you don't have the word Ab.
I know the word.
You don't have the word Allah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have agreed.
Day, that word means something different.
Forget today. We're talking about your context. So when Jesus was on earth, me and you have agreed that he was a servant. Abd, Arabic, Abd of Allah, Abdullah.
Servant, yeah.
Khalas, good. I agree with you. Good. We're making progress here. At least we agree Jesus was Abdullah. We just agreed. I'm not talking about my concept in the Arabic language.
Well, Jesus didn't speak Arabic, did he?
Okay, in Aramaic. Is there a word for slave? Or servant?
Bara alaha.
Bara'alaha. Is there a word for servant?
No, bar means son.
No, I'm saying a servant. What is the Aramaic word for servant or slave? Like in Arabic, we have abd. You don't have one? So you speak Arabic, right?
Yeah.
So in Arabic, if you were to explain to an Arab that Jesus became a servant, would you not say he became an abd?
No, because I'm technically a slave.
What's the difference between a servant and slave linguistically?
Because the concept of the servant and slave are two different things. A servant can be by choice.
So would you say ghulam? What would you say in Arabic? You speak Arabic. So Jesus was ghulam Allah, at least we agree there.
In his human nature. Sure. Not in eternity. Big difference.
Step by step, bro. Step by step. You're coming. Relax. Alaikum assalam. How are you? How's everything? Good to see you.
Sorry, this is slowly.
Take your time.
Long ago, at many times, and this is chapter 1, Hebrews.
Okay, so this is Hebrews, the one that we were talking about, the author being unknown.
Right.
Yeah,
Long
okay.
ago, at many times, not unknown, not.
That's what it said, anonymous.
That guy. I don't,
Yeah, that
I
guy.
don't know who that guy is. Long ago,
MacArthur, what does he know? Right?
what does he know? He knows now.
I'm with you, bro.
The church has been around and told us that it was an epistle. So
Gotcha.
that's like somebody saying something about hadith. I don't know. Well,
So we'll get to your oral tradition in a minute. I'm really interested.
Long ago, and many times and in many ways, God spoke to us, spoke to our fathers by prophets. But in these last days, He has spoken to us by His Son, whom He appointed the heir of all things. The heir of all things, through whom He also created the world. He is the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprint of His nature. And He upholds the universe by the word of His power. This is Jesus holding the universe by the word of His power. After making purification for sins, He sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high, having become much superior to angels.
Sure.
Remember, because you read one part and I told you to read it.
No, I've read this
The name He
before.
has inherited is more excellent than others. For to which the angels did God ever, you are my son, today I have begotten you. Or
What?
again,
I didn't get that part. For
to which of the angels
did God ever say?
This
Gotcha.
is the Father
We're
speaking
talking
to the
about
angels.
angels. Got it. No, it's not Father. It's talking about whether God ever called angels my son.
That's why I said, the Father.
But I'm still not seeing where.
I'm
Okay,
show you.
gotcha.
For to which of the angels did God ever say, you are my son, today I have begotten you? Or again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. That's what we mean, son of the Father. Father
Gotcha.
of the Son.
So did God say that to anybody else?
Let's finish. Only to Christ.
Okay.
Let all, not in different contexts, but in these contexts, this is talking about God here. We're not talking about just saying you are my son. We're all sons of God, technically.
Go ahead.
Okay?
I'm listening.
This is the Father saying, let all of God's angels worship Him. So all of angels are worshiping Jesus. But the angels, He says, He makes His angels wine His ministry. But of the Son, this is the God, the Father talking to Jesus. But of the Son, He says, your throne, O God. So Jesus, God the Father calls Jesus God, and He says, you have a throne in heaven. Your throne, O God, is forever and ever, and the scepter of righteousness is the scepter of your kingdom. You have loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore, God, your God, has appointed you with the oil of gladness beyond all emptiness. So the Father calls Jesus God, and He says He has a throne, and He calls the whole world to worship Him.
So that's very interesting. First thing, my question was, Jesus says my God.
In His human form, in His
Right.
nature, yeah.
But Father never calls Jesus my God,
Because
right?
the Father never took on a human form.
Excellent. Okay. So there's two entities. One took a human form and worshipped the Father and became a servant, became a slave.
We don't use the word entity.
Okay. So
The person of
Jesus became a servant of the God of the Father. Okay. Now, my question, as you said, that God never said that to anybody, but in the Psalms of David, hold on. I will surely tell you the decree of the Lord. What God said, He said to me, to David, you are my son, today I have begotten you. But you just said that wasn't said to anybody else.
That's a messianic. That's David talking about the Messiah.
No. Read here, right? So when hold on. Habibi,
You're reading Psalms, right?
yes.
Who wrote Psalms?
According to the Zabur,
Both, yes. Both. Dawood.
this is a revelation to Dawood alayhi salam. According to Muslims, he didn't write it. It was a revelation, and we don't believe this is
We
preserved.
say David
Okay.
wrote Psalms.
Sure.
That's a messianic prophecy. That's
Hold
David
on.
talking about the Messiah.
So David tells the people I will surely tell you the decree of the Lord. He said to me.
Yeah.
David said to who? He said, the decree of the Lord said to me, to David, you are my son, today I have begotten you.
Yes, because that's a messianic prophet. It's talking about the Messiah. Have you read
This is David. Yes, I've read a Jewish scholar on this. Very interesting description.
So Jews don't believe
But they had these writings even before, according to you. They didn't have the Old Testament, the Psalms.
No, all their translations stuff are hundreds of years after Christianity.
So the earlier Torah scriptures are all wrong?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I read a Jewish scholar, what you said. I'm saying Jews today, first of all, Jews don't believe Jesus is the Messiah.
I got you.
So
but you asked about, but this is the time of Dawood alayhi salam, so it's before Jesus, right?
According to most scholars, if you read them, it's a messianic prophecy. It's about
You're
the
saying
Messiah.
you're saying Christian scholars, then.
Not just Christians.
Jewish scholars?
Yes, there are some Jewish scholars that
Can
say
you name one?
Benjamin Summers.
He said that this is about Jesus.
It's the Messiah, yes.
Okay, so let me.
You asked, I gave you.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll look it up. I'll have to.
There are-
Okay.
because when you say,
But the question gets to be.
all due respect,
Fadal,
when you
Habibi.
say scholars, the scholars can say anything.
You're
It's
right.
different
You mentioned scholars. Forget scholars. Okay.
No,
What I'm saying is,
if you read the majority of the scholars.
you just said scholars could say anything. So let's leave scholars. Let's look at the text. This is David, not saying something about the future. He says, "I will surely tell you the decree of the Lord." He's speaking to the people. I will tell you. The Lord said to me. Anybody have a problem understanding the words here? No? Said to me, you are my son, David. Today I have begotten you. No mention of a Messiah, no mention of a future.
Keep
Okay?
reading.
Ask of me, and I shall surely give you the nations of your inheritance,
Right,
and the very end of the earth as your possession.
right.
You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall shatter them like earthenware.
Keep reading.
Okay. Now therefore, O king, show discriminant. Take warning, O judges of the earth. Worship the Lord with reverence and rejoice with trembling. Do homage to the Son, and he not become angry, and you perish in the way. For his wrath may soon be kindled. How blessed are those who take refuge in him. I'm going to keep reading the whole book? Or?
It's referring to the Messiah.
It's David. It's David right here. Where did you get the Messiah from? You're making this up, bro. Hold on. David says. David says.
You want me to show
That,
you?
no. Show me in the text, because like you said, scholars have opinions. I'm saying in the text, this is. But you are reading into it. Here, David is speaking, saying, "I will surely tell you the decree of the Lord." This is before Isa ibn Maryam, and he says, "He said to me." Psalms 2:7.
Psalms 2,
Chapter 2,
Psalms, which Psalms?
2, Psalms 2, that's the second chapter of Psalms, right? Verse 7.
7?
I've been taking Arabic, that's why I was like, I should learn more about it. I'm trying to get more.
You need to go, don't worry about it, bro. Come back next time, I got you.
Oh, definitely come back next time. We'll bring you that Aramaic Bible.
I appreciate
We
it.
got to talk about actually what we believe in.
I want to get into your oral tradition too, that's very interesting to me. And how you, so how is it that you check the oral, like in hadith, you know we have mustalah al-hadith and ilm al-rijal, right? How do you check it? And you'll get back to me on this one, right?
Yeah.
Go home, look it up, come back. No problem. I don't want to put you under, like this is a conversation. This is not a debate. For us, we're not here to argue with Christians or something. We're here to do da'wah. You're welcome. If somebody wants to debate, we're here, but that's not what we're here for. We respect a respectful conversation. And I look forward to reading the Aramaic and learning about it.
Oral traditions basically is the teachings of the fathers.
Okay, but like in hadith, as you know, because you studied.
Oral tradition is not
So-
completely two different things.
Gotcha. So I want to understand, like in hadith we have verification to make sure that what we are reading is actually from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We look at dabt al-rawi, adal al-rawi, ittisal al-sanad, adam al-shudud, adam. So how do you verify oral tradition?
When we're talking about the tradition,
How you
oral
doing?
tradition, we're talking about the teachings of the fathers. So
Okay.
the apostles had students.
Okay.
When they died, they took over. And their
Gotcha.
students took over, and their students.
So how do you
we
check-
we have their writings today.
Gotcha. So, but the originals that are oral traditions are not writings, right? Assalamu alaikum. Okay, inshallah. Faddalu, come. Just give us a second.
There's a picture, bro. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, no problem. So,
Are you famous? Take a picture with you.
alhamdulillah, come on back, man. I got you.
Basically, yeah.
So,
by oral tradition, we're talking about the teachings of the fathers. So we
Gotcha.
have their writings today, like
I
Saint
got you.
Ignatius,
But I mean,
Martin,
you don't. But those are not from the time of Jesus, peace be upon him, right?
Saint Ignatius was probably a baby around that time.
Excellent. So he didn't hear Jesus, obviously, right? He heard it from somebody.
No, but he's friends with Polycarp, who was the disciple of the Apostle Saint John.
Okay,
And
excellent.
he
So.
wrote a letter to him, and we have that letter today.
So their connectivity, how do you check it? How do you know, like in hadith,
We were there. The church was there.
no, you weren't there physically,
Saint
right?
Ignatius was the bishop
Born
of
1491.
1491.
St. Ignatius born 1491.
Ripping, man.
St. Ignatius, 1491.
Look it up, look it up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to go. Look, man, like, I know it's on camera, but I don't want to mess you up. That's Ignatius of Loyola, not Ignatius of
You said
Antioch.
St. Ignatius.
Yes, that's not Saint Ignatius.
Okay.
There's two different Ignatius, bro.
Gotcha, I got
I
you.
know what you're talking about.
So let's go back to the one you're talking
Give me a second.
about.
So
Go ahead.
Ignatius of Antioch,
Okay.
okay,
Go ahead.
disciple of Polycarp and the Apostle Saint John. Ignatius of Loyola, the Spaniard, whose leg got blown off and became a saint afterwards.
Wow. How did it get blown
Two
up?
different people, 1,000 years apart. So Saint
Good.
Ignatius, for example, was Peter was the bishop of the church in Ephesus.
Gotcha.
Okay? Of Antioch, sorry. And then
Antioch.
of Antioch. When he left, went to Rome, another bishop took over, and Saint Ignatius became the bishop. So Matran, so the bishop of the entire church of Antioch.
Gotcha.
And then at the same time, Polycarp was his best friend. We have their writings today. Polycarp, yes, Polycarp was the student of the Apostle Saint John.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and they were friends. So when Saint Ignatius got captured by the Romans, they brought him from Antioch to Rome to get executed. On the way to Rome, he wrote letters to
Gotcha.
the churches, to all the different churches. He was telling the Romans, "Hey, don't try to come rescue me. I do want to die for Jesus." All that stuff. And
Got
he
it.
wrote a letter to Saint Polycarp.
But those are their own writings. They're not attributing that to Jesus, right? Peace be upon him.
No. That's what I'm telling you. We're not.
Gotcha.
What you guys are
So
Hadith Islam is
so
not
so
only oral
that's
traditions,
why
they're writings.
I'm interested in learning that these oral traditions are not from the teachings of Jesus himself, peace and blessings be upon
They
him.
quote Jesus on a bunch of stuff.
Right, but otherwise their letters written like they're not quoting
They're
Jesus
like-
saying
no,
don't come after
no,
me.
It's like a Khalifa writing to him.
Right, ulama, writing of scholars. Got it. But those ulama, scholars could be right, could be wrong, right?
Of course, yeah.
Excellent. So they're not divine in nature, but they. Gotcha. Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted to know.
Yes, but
Thank
I'm
you.
saying, but in order to know what was going on at that time, we have their writings
Sure,
that tells us.
but again, those are human writings from human opinions that can be
We
wrong.
can't assume they're wrong.
We cannot.
Yeah.
I'm not. But like in hadith,
But
if
they're attested to by other, just kind of like if you're talking about, like, let's say from Mutawab Hadith or something like that. They're like,
but there's
for
a difference,
example,
right?
So, example, Saint Irenaeus
so
talks about Saint, Ignatius and Polycarp.
so let me explain the
and then
difference.
Justin Martin reference them.
in
Saint
Hadith-
Augustine reference them.
in
Saint
Hadith-
Ambrose reference them.
In hadith, even the wording of a sahabi will be called idraj, an addition,
I'm saying
right?
they're
So.
completely two different things.
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about the science of hadith is we preserve the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and separate from the opinions of scholars afterwards.
I know
right?
all what
Good,
Islam teaches.
good. Not
But
all,
that's
but
not-
some.
no, I
of
don't
it.
mean-
Yeah.
but I mean,
Don't get
I
carried
don't
away,
mean- I
bro.
don't mean everything. I'm saying I know what Islam
I got
is
you.
and
I
what
got
Islam
you.
teaches.
Inshallah, we'll see how
Yeah,
much you
but
know.
I'm
We
saying
haven't even
it's
got to
just-
Islam
yeah,
yet,
there's-
right? But you do have to appreciate the science of hadith and its precision, though, right? Excellent,
Beautiful
excellent,
things, man.
excellent.
Writing, science, medical advances.
Beautiful,
I'm from
beautiful.
Iraq, bro. I've worked
I
with
know.
those
I feel
great.
you, bro.
Yeah,
I feel you.
I get it.
All right, inshallah. So bring me that.
Very nice
It's a beautiful
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Appreciate the politeness, and
I'll bring you an Aramaic Bible.
I appreciate it. I will learn, and I will try to understand it from you.
But just like for reference, when you're talking about the things that Aramaic and Greek, well, Saint Ignatius, not Saint Ignatius, Saint Irenaeus, which is one of the greatest theologians, ulama Malkushanid, if you want to say. So he wrote us. See, these things are you're not gonna find in MacArthur or these because he's a Protestant.
That's what you're here for. I'm learning from you, man. Forget those Protestants,
whatever
right?
they say, they're gonna say, oh, they're lying, oh, it's not true, because it contradicts their faith. You
Gotcha.
understand what I'm saying?
So Protestants are
So we
off the
have the
manhaj.
letter of Irenaeus in his book Against Heresies. He talks about a bunch of different heresies. And then he tells us the writers of the gospel.
Interesting.
He's from the 2nd century.
All right, but
And
does he
tells
tell us?
Matthew wrote Matthew in Aramaic.
All right. Interesting, because then those writings are not accepted by other than, I'm assuming, your church, because
I'm not accepted. I'm just saying Protestants don't even know about it because they never studied it.
Protestants never even read about it. That's amazing. Like, they got PhDs in Christianity and them don't even know about it.
Of course, they wouldn't study it because it contradicts their faith.
Gotcha. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I'm learning from you. So
I mean, you can bring Protestant scholars, ask them a question about Saint Irenaeus. So, I don't care what he says.
I know you gotta go. Let me just ask you one last thing. So.
But just get back to that. So Saint Irenaeus tells us that Matthew wrote Matthew in Aramaic, and then he tells us Luke wrote Luke, and he wrote this, and he went there, and stuff like that.
That's interesting. And again, I'll have to research.
Who wrote them from even the 2nd century.
Gotcha.
It's just that I mean, you have to understand.
Protestants.
There's also a bias.
Protestants are biased. They're off the manhaj. I got you.
No, I'm not saying all. There's amazing Protestants out there. Don't get me wrong.
But those amazing Protestants know about this very critical knowledge, and they keep.
For example, you also are going to look for scholars that kind of agree with you.
No. MacArthur doesn't agree with me for. This is a hardcore.
So if you're going to read commentaries, then you should read ancient commentaries. The people.
Excellent.
That
Let me just say this, okay?
Like Saint Augustine.
So bring it. If you bring it to me, or let me where I can buy it.
For his book.
Well, then that's going to be a hard one for me to buy, right? I'm not a baller like that.
You can go to New Advent.
Okay.
NewAdvent.org.
Okay.
So it's like a Catholic encyclopedia, and they have all the ancient writings
Gotcha.
there in English translated, and you can read them for
Perfect.
free.
When you bring me the Aramaic Bible, bring me a link.
I will bring you one.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
Let me just say one thing.
Just one second. If you want to know about commentaries and stuff like that, because these things have been discussed for hundreds of years.
I had a Christian come and debate with me, and I asked him, what do they use, right? And he was Protestant, and this is the evangelical responses. This is not my opinions. But I wanted to read their side of it to be fair. I don't read what is in line with me. I read to be fair. Excellent. So I will read your commentaries as well in a fair-minded way to understand. Like I read Bart Ehrman and other people and their commentaries. Well, you can't deny his academic skills. You can. There? Okay. Now, he's an atheist. I'm not an atheist, so I don't agree on that. But he is an expert on the history of the Bible without a doubt, right?
He does say Jesus was crucified.
I've had his conversations with him. He has an opinion, but he also says Jesus was not God. He also says Jesus did not resurrect. Those are his opinions. I'm not interested because he's an atheist, right?
You have Christianity based on evil stuff, not because of
his you can read his writings. He explained he left Christianity because of the lack of textual. Read what he wrote. I'll bring you his book, Nick. When you bring it, I'll bring you his.
Bring it to you.
Excellent.
He actually says the opposite. He said the reason I left Christianity was for the problem of evil and not textual variants. I quote.
Okay. I have a book from him. I'll bring it with me. You bring me his, and we'll show each other. Maybe he gave two opinions. I don't know, right?
Maybe.
Excellent.
That's definitely.
The last thing.
Even when he debated James White, he said it. Yeah, I love Christianity because of the problem of evil and not textual variants.
Okay. Let me ask you one last thing, right? Just to understand. You believe, because I know Protestants believe, and I know some Catholics, but your belief is a little bit different from many Catholics that I've talked to. Maybe they're confused. Maybe they're off the manhaj too, and you're the one on it.
Doesn't mean they are. They haven't studied. Because some Muslims that don't even know anything about Islam.
True. So that's why I'm asking you. So God was always eternal. He doesn't die, right?
He's eternal.
He's eternal. Okay. Then what did you say? One aspect of God? What did you say? One personality?
Took on human nature.
Okay, but so there is God, and the eternal Son is what? What part of is a part of God?
He's God.
He's not Father though.
He's not. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are three different persons.
Okay.
One God,
Excellent. So one person from the three. One person came into the womb of a woman. God. A person of God came out of the vagina of a woman. Is that your belief or not? Like, I just want to understand.
If you can show me any other way to be born.
Excellent. I can.
That's the only way to be born.
Adam alayhi salam was never born from a woman. Hawa alayhi salam wasn't born from a man.
That's different.
Exactly. So now.
But after Adam, everybody was born.
Hawa alayhi salam.
Yeah, from them everybody was born.
Now,
there's no other way.
Gotcha. No. So let me then understand that
do you guys
one.
Believe that?
What?
For that.
What?
How?
Of course we believe in Adam. It's in the Quran, Habibi.
They sinned freely, or it was just written for them that way? no.
So that's a different. You want to go there or?
No, I'm just
Okay, that's a different discussion, and it's a long discussion. But
No,
anytime.
because I remember it because I had two different
So they have-
opinions from two different Muslims. That's why.
So leave those. We'll talk about proof. The evidence is that people have choice, but Allah knows in His hikmah and His knowledge what will happen. But He's not forced. So you do have a choice, but qadr is known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already.
Hadith where when Musa was arguing with Adam,
Right.
and then Adam rebuked him, and Muhammad said Adam was right. That was
Right.
true.
Meaning that Allah had written for it to happen, but Adam alayhi salam was responsible.
I was just trying to make sure
But
that
Adam
that
alayhi salam was responsible for his decision. That's why he made tawbah. Tayyib?
But he said, how can you?
Meaning after the
How
fact.
are you gonna blame me for something that was written for me before I was even born?
Let me explain that to you, okay?
I'm gonna say if I'm wrong.
No problem, I got you. Now, if you made a mistake, right? You made an incorrect choice, and then you made tawbah, right? And then I come and tell you, man, I wish you hadn't done that. As a Muslim, inshallah, when you're a Muslim, you will say, this say qadar Allah ma sha fa'al. Don't start going if, right? But that doesn't mean you're not responsible for your mistake. Adam alayhi salam had to make tawbah. He made a mistake in judgment. But that doesn't mean that after the fact you should be blaming him, because khalas, what happened. He made his tawbah. Okay? Now, go back to the question I had that you're trying to get away
So
from.
there is free will in Islam.
Yes.
I just wanted to make that was it.
Excellent.
Because
But
don't tell me two different things.
qadar is known to Allah from before.
No one knows.
So, excellent. So there's three persons. One of the persons came into the womb of a woman.
He was
and
born. He assumed a human nature.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. How it happened. I just want to understand because I had a Christian lady tell me that was the DNA of God, physical sperm. It's on video. I'm sure she's wrong. That's why I'm asking you, right?
First of all, to have a sperm, you have to be a man, and the father.
I
does not
agree
have
with
flesh.
you, but that's so Jesus came into the stomach of Mary, who was a virgin, right? And from the vagina of a woman, one of the
There's no other way, Sheikh. That's how.
okay, I just want to be clear. So one of the persons, because for me that's not becoming of God. One person or two, right? But it's interesting that you would accept that.
So are you saying that is not possible?
No. Again, when you say possible, Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir,
No, I'm
right?
asking, can someone without a father be born?
Let me explain it. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do anything. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can make somebody be born from a rock. No doubt,
Allah
right?
did do that with Jesus.
Right? Not from a rock, from a human being, right?
Yeah.
So
But without
we
a father,
believe
right?
we believe that Jesus ibn Maryam was a righteous prophet of Allah, as you know, and he was born as every human being is from the womb of a woman.
Okay, there you go.
But that-
without a father.
Without a father.
Right.
But to say that God went through the womb of a woman and was born, that's disgusting to me. To put God in that human capacity.
Why is birth so disgusting?
Sure, because these are things that are human qualities. These are not. So, for example, having to go to the bathroom. You think God takes a leak?
Why not?
All right. Well, that's your belief.
Because he's human. He's 100%. He's fully man.
But he's
So
God.
He's gonna eat. He's gonna get hungry.
But he is God.
Yes, he is.
So God gets hungry, God sleeps, God pees, God defecates.
In his human nature, Christ, yeah.
Thank you. That's your belief.
He's 100. He's fully
Gotcha.
man and fully God.
Just wanted to be clear about your
But
belief.
that's something that we teach, though. It's not something that's new. It's,
No, I didn't. So, like I said,
Union of Christ,
yeah,
the Council of
we had a
Chalcedon,
debate on it
Ephesus.
here. We got it. The
I'm
issue.
sorry. What is it?
So the union of, and this is what they explained. David Wood and them. They came out here. If you know who he is, you don't like David Wood? David, he doesn't like you, bro. Is he off the manhaj too?
guy.
Nice guy? You just said, eh.
His theology is kind of weird.
Is it weird? Why is it weird?
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place, David. What about Sam Shimon?
Great guy.
Great guy. Is he Catholic?
I'm not sure. I think
He's Protestant, right?
he was. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've seen their videos like 1 or 2 times.
Anthony Rogers?
Time I know because we're like the same people. Chaldean and Syrian.
But is he Catholic? Because you're Catholic.
Yeah, because our church, the Church of the East, split into 2 factions, which is known as the Assyrian Church of the East and the Chaldean part. So half the bishops became Catholic, half did not. The ones that became Catholic are known as Chaldean. So we're talking about ethnically,
But the Aqidah is different. Because he believes in the Protestant Bible, right?
because he became Protestant. Yeah, his
So now
people are
he's
Catholic.
off the manhaj. He became Protestant, right?
No, he was. I think he's coming back to become. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know. All right, cool.
I've seen a few videos
So,
today of the thing is.
so the
Because my
idea.
friend told me like, "Oh, watch," because I was A bunch of my Muslim friends are like, man, I watched this video of this guy doing weird stuff.
He does do weird stuff, for sure.
I was like, no Christian would do that, bro. That's bullshit. I'm like, well, go to YouTube and he showed me, and that's why I was like,
You find that disgusting when he tells people things like, your mom's a whore and things? You think it's becoming of a Christian?
that's not what a Christian should do. But everybody's sinful and everyone makes mistakes.
But you don't think it's becoming of a Christian, right?
Well, Christians are normal human beings who are sinful and they can make mistakes. I'm saying,
So it's a mistake.
I would never talk like that about anything.
Good. I appreciate that you would.
That's-
All right. So, would you put on a nightie and lipstick? David Wood joke.
Hey, right off the top. Joke.
I'm with you on that one,
Look,
David.
Man and wife.
David.
No lipstick. No.
He said he'd hang you, throw you off a roof. I got you, bro. I got you.
Great guy.
Good guy.
Never met him, but
All right. Try to make up for it now. All right. So to us, that idea that God, the creator of the universe, would be having to defecate in any form, to us is unacceptable. Right? Right. To me. I'm just talking about me. That's why I was just asking about you, right?
In our view, God is so loving and so holy and
Right.
so just that our sin needed to be paid for. So that's why the eternal Son, in his free choice,
Gotcha.
chose to assume on a human nature,
Okay.
become man,
Have to
born,
defecate, urinate,
die,
all of that.
Urinate, everything, because that's what humans do. There's nothing disgusting or
God.
wrong about it.
But he was fully God at that time.
I do it.
But I'm not God. Alhamdulillah. I'm just a abd of Allah.
No,
As
but-
you said,
no, but-
Jesus is
no,
a
but
servant of
the reason
Allah.
why you're
Right?
going to the bathroom is because your humanity makes you to.
Exactly.
So since Jesus
But God
became
doesn't
fully-
have those needs.
Yeah, but
That's like a
here's
square
the
circle.
misunderstanding. If you're talking about in eternity, no, of course he wouldn't need that because he's God. And he's always
God
been
changes?
God. No, he does not change. You can't keep putting words in your mouth.
I asked a question. That was a question. I wasn't putting it in your mouth, bro.
God in his eternal state, before all of creation, no, he doesn't need to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a bathroom anyway.
Gotcha.
So when he assumed the human nature,
Okay.
he became fully man.
So that changed.
And as a man, it's not changed his divinity. Because
But he
his
did
divinity
change. The
didn't
change came in him, right? Now he has to go to the
It didn't
bathroom.
change. So if I'm Nassim and you cut off my arm,
Right.
so Nassim.
Change though.
If I
You
change
now no
my
longer
shirt-
have an arm. Excellent.
No, but if I change my shirt,
Listen,
I'm
listen.
still
Let me,
Nassim.
Nassim. Let me ask you something.
He assumed
Okay.
that he
Let me
would
just
take
go by what you said. You're Nassim, no doubt to that, right? But if your arm is cut off, now your abilities have changed.
Abilities, exactly. But
Thank
I'm
you.
still Nassim.
But you did change. Now you don't have an arm.
I didn't change, but I'm still Nassim though in my nature.
I know,
I'm talking about
I know.
nature.
I got
I'm
that.
talking about physical
I
stuff.
got that.
You're
But
comparing a physical thing to God.
gotcha.
That's what
But
I'm-
would you, without an
1 +
arm,
1, 1 divided
without
by
an arm, would you call out to yourself?
What is the arm and calling out?
So that's the thing. When Jesus was on earth, he called out to my God. He was calling out to God.
Yes, he's
So,
talking to his Father.
exactly. So he's talking to somebody else, his Father. He's
Yeah.
not talking to himself.
No, he doesn't.
So he is not one anymore. He is now on earth a servant of the Father. That's what you
I don't think
said.
you understand what the hypostatic union is, or I don't, personally, I don't think you understand
Gotcha.
what the doctrine of the Trinity even is.
Watch the video.
But let me
It's
explain
in.
something.
Go ahead.
Every time you keep saying like, oh, calling to himself, no
Yeah.
Christian ever says that. Jesus.
We've had Christians here say that. Watch the video.
But when I say
preachers and
Christians
pastors.
don't teach that, the church never teaches that.
Which church are we talking about?
There's only one
The
church,
Catholic?
Catholic.
So the Protestant church not a church?
We don't consider it.
So
We're not
Sam,
apostolic.
so David Wood's church is not a church because they're not
I don't know what
Catholic.
they are, but
They're
I'm
not
just saying
Catholic. They're Protestant.
That's fine.
So you do not consider them a church.
Church that has to have a valid priesthood, priests, deacons.
Gotcha. So if you
bishops,
don't
they
have
to align back.
valid priesthood
You're not-
aligning back, so David Wood and Sam Shimon and all of their churches are
He
not
does
churches.
believe in the priesthood. He does believe in
He's not Catholic. He's Protestant from what he told us.
That's fine, but he still believes it.
He believes in Catholicism.
Yes, he believes in the priesthood. He has no problem.
Interesting. All right. We'll ask him when he comes out. If he's ever
you
brave
don't have
enough
a
to actually
priest-
come out.
If you don't have a priest, deacon, bishops, and your church does not trace us back to Jesus' time,
Okay.
you don't consider it a church. I'm just saying, to us.
Okay, so your opinion is those Protestant churches, like the one that David
That do
Wood and
not have
Anthony
valid
Rogers,
priesthood, we don't
are
consider.
not churches. They're not valid.
I'm not saying they're not valid. I'm saying they're not a church according to our, because there's no valid priesthood.
Gotcha.
No
So the only church is the Catholic Church.
The Orthodox have valid priesthood as well, and so do us, the Church of the East. So.
But you're Catholic.
Apostolic, yes.
Okay.
Catholic means universal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I'm not Roman Catholic, but we're an Eastern Rite Catholic
Gotcha.
church.
Gotcha.
So basically, apostolic churches, all Catholics, Orthodox, Aqabat, Masar, Middle Eastern Christians, all the way, all of them. These are all
So
apostolic.
I asked them a question. I'll ask the same question to you, and I'll tell you their answer, and you can tell me yours. Could Anthony, David, and Fam, they were all here, right? So would it be then acceptable in your mind that God has sex with a woman, like in Jesus' human form?
Never did that. So.
But I understand that. But you're saying as a human nature, he can do the things that humans do, and humans have sex.
But can you and do you are two different things.
But would that be an acceptable?
I can choose to have sex with a girl right now.
Sure, you could.
But I choose not to.
Right. Excellent. So, if Jesus, when he comes back, wants, as a person from the persons of God, wants, he can get married and have sex. I mean, it's not a sin to get married and have sex, right?
Do that.
Why not?
Why would he?
I mean, you're judging his intent. I mean, right? Why would you say he would? No, I'm not. I just asked, could, and according to your belief, would that be perfectly acceptable if he did? If he did choose it? If. I'm not saying he would.
Whatever God says and does, I have no say in it.
Gotcha.
God says can do whatever he
just
wants.
to be clear, you think is perfectly acceptable according to your belief.
That's not what I said. I said if God wants to do something, he can do whatever he wants. I have no say in it.
So the question then to you that you're trying to... Okay, all right. The question is, according to your belief, if Jesus comes back and chooses, if he does...
He's saying if hypothetically.
Hypothetically, obviously.
Hypothetically.
To have sex with a woman as a person of God, that's perfectly acceptable for God to have sex with a woman.
Right, but he wouldn't do that because we have no revelation of that. We have no reason for that. The reason why he became
But there's no reason when he comes back, is he going to be human?
What do you mean when he
The
comes
second
back?
coming of Jesus. You don't believe in that?
Of course we believe in
Oh, so-
that.
so-
Same time.
But will he come back as a human?
He is one person.
He came to the earth as a human, fully human, right?
Yes.
Right
He has
now.
two natures.
Okay, but when he comes back, which nature will he come with?
He's still going to be the same God-man. He'll be human.
Okay, but there was a time he wasn't a God-man, right? Because he was a part of the Trinity, and then he took the
Always
form.
has been God.
But he wasn't a man.
No, he assumed that human nature in
Okay.
the incarnation.
And then when he died, what happened to that human nature?
He is one man. He's still the same person. He's one divine
Bro,
being.
you're confusing yourself. Let me go back. Let me go back.
Hold on, let me ask
Hold
you
on.
something. Do you think Christians say that Jesus is a human person? Because no Christian will ever teach that.
Okay, so so you keep saying this, but there are videos of Christian preachers saying that he's fully human.
Fully human, but not a human person.
Okay, so
two
now
different
let
things.
me explain this, and this is gonna
Just let me explain something.
Go ahead.
Christianity, as I'm talking about the teaching of the church and always for thousands of
You're
years.
talking about the Catholic Church.
Not any Christian, if they're teaching something different, that's heresy.
So don't say no Christian, because there are Christians that do say that.
I'm talking about official teachings of actual Christians.
Okay.
No Christian ever says that Jesus is a human person. We always say Jesus is a divine person who assumed the human nature. That's what the entire council
Okay.
was
Gotcha.
about.
Gotcha. So let me.
You know what I'm saying?
So he's divine according to you,
always been divine.
but he has no human nature before the birth of Jesus.
Yes, he assumed that in the
Okay. There we go. So now he assumes a new nature that he didn't have before.
He assumed the human nature. Yes.
Thank you. So something changed. He assumed something he didn't have.
No, his divine nature never changed.
I
because
didn't talk about his divine nature. I talked about his human nature is something new.
He's
Right?
born. Yes, he's
Thank you.
born.
So now he has what he didn't have before. Now he has a fully human nature and a fully divine nature, according to
in
you.
his incarnate state, yes.
Yeah, so now you have agreed that changed, because before his birth, he did not have that human nature.
That's not a change.
Okay.
Look, you know why?
Okay.
No,
Let's keep going.
Don't
All right,
skip it. Just listen.
Go ahead, bro. I got you. I'm
Because
listening.
You're referencing a time where there's no humanity.
No.
And you're referencing a time where
No. Jesus' birth wasn't the beginning of humanity, bro.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so don't get carried
I
away
said
there.
you referenced before
The birth of Jesus.
the person in his
Yeah,
eternal
Moses,
state,
Abraham, they're
he
all
had-
there. There
he
is
had no
humanity.
human nature.
But humanity exists.
Yes, that's
Okay, so don't say there's no
eternity,
humanity.
yes, bro. Eternity. Before the
Okay.
creation, how about that? Were
Okay.
they humans?
No, before
Okay,
creation,
so
obviously
before creation,
not. But that's not what I was referencing, but go ahead.
Right, but that's what I was referencing.
Go ahead.
In eternity,
Okay.
he's always been God.
Okay.
That never changes. He
Okay.
can assume a human nature, he's still fully God.
Okay, but now,
There's no change.
when he assumes a human nature, that is a change because now there's the addition of a human nature to the person of Jesus. You know that,
The
right?
person of Jesus is both God.
But not before his birth, right? Was he human before birth?
No, because
Come on, bro. You know it's over there,
Because human
man. Come on.
is a concept of man, not God. You're using words.
Okay,
that
let me explain this, okay? When Jesus was not born as a human on earth, according to you, he was still existed, right?
He's always existed.
Okay.
And he was around.
But he
even
did
before
not
he was born.
have a human nature at that time.
He didn't assume, but he did come to earth, but he didn't.
Thank
assume
you. So
human
when he came to earth, he got a human nature added to his divine nature. No?
nature. We
No?
never. That's what I'm saying. That's
So
a heresy.
what happened to the, where did the human
I'm
nature come
saying
from?
What you're explaining is a heresy.
Okay, so you explain it.
There's no addition, no mixture.
Right, but this is,
They're
but this is,
perfectly united in one person.
but that's the question that when I asked Anthony and David and all of them, they said that he had a human soul even. Right?
Yeah, because all humans have souls.
Okay, so he was one divine, then he became a actual human being as well as being divine and having a human soul. And when he died, his soul separated from his body, separated from his divine nature.
Just for future reference, when you go online, you will study the Council of Chalcedon.
Sure, bro.
We explained all this.
That's the
There's
thing.
No addition, no mixture. That's completely wrong.
When I stand here, and ask, if you guys can't explain it here, then just referencing council doesn't help me any, right? The question
Just
is,
explain it to you. We don't believe what you just said.
okay, so what do you believe?
We believe that they're both united in one person.
Okay,
They don't
but there was a
commingle,
time,
they don't
but there was a
mix,
time they were
don't
not
add.
united, right?
In eternity past, yeah.
When humans existed, time of Moses,
Right.
Jesus did not have a human.
incarnation, you did not have a human nature.
Thank you. So now he united with a new nature that he didn't have.
No, the human person.
Okay.
You're asking me
I'm not asking, but you're
when he was born,
okay.
he is one man.
Jesus
Yes.
is one man.
Yes, he's one divine person who assumed a human nature. So he's fully God.
He's
fully
one man that
Both
assumed
natures
a
are
human
together
nature?
United in one person. They
Okay.
don't commingle. They don't mix. They don't add. They don't subtract.
So when Jesus was walking-
100% of the time, he's always God and man.
That makes no sense.
To you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm saying it doesn't make sense.
I appreciate
because
your
I
time.
believe what-
Look,
what
I
was revealed.
appreciate your time and I appreciate your explanation. It doesn't make sense to me, and everybody has a choice if it makes sense or
There's
not.
other stuff in, Quran stuff don't make sense to me.
Like what?
I'm gonna say it.
Allah is one. He created everything. He's not human. He doesn't become human. He doesn't go to the bathroom. He doesn't have.
running in the desert back to the ocean. That makes no sense to me.
Why not? Wait, hold on. Wait.
I'm not saying
Is
that's
that
wrong,
okay?
But I'm
okay.
saying that doesn't make
Let
sense.
me ask you something. Is that a part of Aqidah?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay,
like,
so if you
there are
don't know,
things in Islam
if
that
you know,
just
look,
don't make
let
sense.
me ask you a simple question. One creator, right? Not a man, not a woman, not a child, doesn't become anything else. Always been, always will be in one state. Never.
Since I'm here, I do want to ask you a question.
Go ahead, bro. Since you're here.
So, I may make this.
Ask away, ask
I'm
away,
saying,
bro.
From what I
said
remember-
ask away, don't worry, shy.
No, I'm trying
I
to
see you
explain to This is
hesitant.
not a disrespectful type of thing.
Ask disrespectfully. It's okay.
No, of course not. I would never do that. But I'm just saying, like, this is what I've heard. If I'm wrong, then you'll agree.
Okay.
But can you tell me Mary's family
Sure.
according to Islam?
Sure. You're talking about
And can
Imran?
you show, and can you show any Jewish, Christian, scholar, historian that ever mentions those names?
Sure. So first thing you're asking me, who is the father of Mary, or what are you asking?
Family of Mary, yeah.
Yeah, so it's in the Quran, it's in Ahadith, and if you get like Tafsir al-Tabari, for example, it will even give you.
I'm saying non-Islamic sources.
Hold on, I'm getting there, bro. Okay. So when we talk about the tafsir of the Quran, or what is explained in the Quran, we have direct revelation. Okay? And there are people like Abdullah ibn Salam who were Jews before. And when they saw the truth of Islam, they became Muslims. And you can read him, who used to be a Jewish scholar, his explanation of the family of Mary in accordance to what is in the Quran. There you go.
No, can you show me any historical
No.
reference, any scholar, any
I just did.
any
Abdullah ibn
outside-
Salam. He was a Jewish scholar.
Right.
He became Muslim,
Right.
but he brought his writings from before Islam
You
and
said
explained
Mary's
it.
family?
Yeah, he explained it.
What
Look,
did he say her father is?
so, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So he explained the Al Imran, and he explained, and this is not about Harun, and how Harun is not the same one at the time of Musa alayhi salatu salam. All of that's there.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to me.
Why not?
It's like, it seems like 1,000 years.
No, but again, like you just said, that's not the same person. This Harun is not the same Harun as the time of Musa. It's just the same name.
No, but the father is the same.
No.
The sister is the same. That's
What's the sister?
Maryam.
That's the person we're talking about. You don't have a sister of Maryam.
Harun, Imran,
Maryam,
that's the family of Moses.
So let me explain this to you, okay? For example, I have a brother that I know. His name is Muhammad. And he's married to a woman named Khadija, right? And they have a daughter named Aisha, right? Does that mean that I'm talking about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Because they're naming they're naming their children after their beliefs.
Exactly. As Abdullah ibn Salam explained, that these were people who were bin Israel, and they would name themselves after the earlier prophets. And the pious. Okay, so historically, who's her father?
Joachim.
Okay, now where did you get that from?
From the church tradition and history and the evangelical.
But earlier,
and her mama's name is Hannah.
Okay, excellent. So now, earlier, when I was showing you the genealogy of Jesus, you were saying that's the father of Mary.
No. I'm talking about Mary.
I know, Mary.
The actual Mary.
The mother of Jesus.
Yes, her father's name Joachim and her mother Anna.
So you see, earlier when I showed you the contradiction, you just contradicted yourself, and I'm going to explain it. Let me explain it.
I told you that's the genealogy
of Mary.
Of generations. That's what it is.
I got you.
One is using the genealogy of Mary, and one is using the genealogy of Joseph.
So when you say, hey, bro, relax, right? So when you said, when I showed you the genealogy of Jesus and the contradiction, the family line, going back.
That's what genealogy means?
That's what it means to me.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, say that.
Are you trying to change the subject here?
No. What is it again?
Genealogy, going up the gene train of a family lineage.
A family lineage.
Yeah.
And does that gospel show from Adam to Mary, or it skips and just says generation names?
It shows begotten, and the other, there's two we're looking. Let me
How many
answer.
generations does it show?
So there's two different genealogies. There's a contradiction in the number of. I got you. Relax. I've got it printed out. I got you. Relax. So the one in Luke goes, and it goes further, but it goes down from David all the way to Jesus, peace be upon all of them. And Matthew also goes from David to Jesus. The one in Luke has 43 altogether, and in Matthew has 28 altogether.
Right, because they're separating them to 14 generations, 7 by 7 by 7.
That is an opinion. That's not a fact.
That's
And
what
different
every scholar
Christians.
says.
No, they do not.
Which one says they do not do the 14 generations?
Sure. There's a teacher called Anderson has a video that he tried to refute me on. It's Anderson.
Who the hell is Anderson?
Oh, well, you asked me who. If you don't know him, that's
scholar.
yours. Yeah, he is a scholar. That's what he says.
What's his writings? Can you name a book?
I don't know. Go look him up. But I'll tell you what. Hold on. Listen.
I asked you for a scholar
Let me,
about the genealogy.
You see, you're trying to get away from my question originally.
No,
you see the jump?
It's not a
It's
jump.
okay. It's okay.
I
It's
think
all
you're
right,
the
bro.
one who's jumping right
No,
now.
we were talking about the family of Maryam, and now you're jumping here.
You
right?
jumped back to the genealogy. Not me.
I did not. You asked me what does genealogy mean.
No. When we're talking about Miriam, you said when I talked about Joseph, you said that, not me.
Okay, so let me explain what I said. Okay, you were saying earlier that Joseph here, when we talk about this is the genealogy of Mary, right?
One uses the genealogy of Mary. One uses the genealogy of Joseph.
So who's the father of Mary?
Her father is Joachim.
But Joachim's not in any of these.
But he's not talking about her father. He's talking about her Ashira name. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Ashira for what? From
because
who?
It's Ashira names. Because
So Joseph is Ashira name.
No, Joseph has nothing to do with Mary's genealogy, bro. He's not related to Mary. You understand what I'm saying?
The two genealogies we have, okay, both of them go to Joseph.
Yes, one uses Mary's genealogy.
Excellent. Which one?
Joseph.
Which one?
I don't remember. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Well, which
but
one?
you I don't think either one of them do. But there are. Okay. Now let me explain. Let me tell you something. Go ahead.
you have any questions, it's a great religion, good guidance to mankind. There's no more warning coming after this. You'll be responsible for yourself. Last warning from Allah. Anybody want to know? It's a great book. Read it, please. Any questions about Islam? Any questions about Islam?
Let me save you some time.
Right?
All right, go ahead.
Genealogies.
All right, go ahead.
Matthew uses the genealogy of Joseph and Luke uses genealogy of Mary.
Let me take a look at this. Okay.
That's two
Take
different
it.
genealogies.
Take. Oh, so Matthew uses whose? Matthew uses whose?
I believe it's the genealogy of Joseph, and Luke uses genealogy of Mary.
Okay.
I think.
So, which one is it?
I don't
bro?
know. I
Okay,
just showed it to you.
read it and tell me. Matthew uses the genealogy of.
Joseph.
Okay, so we should look at Luke then, because Luke is Mary's.
Yeah, it says that.
That's what you're
The
saying.
genealogy is to Mary. Yeah.
Okay, so this actually does start at Adam. It does start at Adam. Luke.
Everybody starts at Adam.
No, Matthew does not. He starts at David. You didn't know
Yeah, you
that?
can start with David. I'm talking about all humans go back to
I know,
Adam.
but the genealogy listed here, bro, it starts with Adam, right? So you're saying Heli then is the father of Mary, because here he's given as Joseph's, but you're saying this is Mary's. But you just gave me a different name, Hakim. What did you say for the father of Mary?
That's Mary's actual father's name. No.
So
we have
Heli, it says Joseph is the son of Heli, but you're saying that means.
Joseph. I mean, not Mary.
But you said this is Mary's genealogy in Luke.
No.
Bro, you know you just caught
misunderstood.
yourself.
No,
Okay,
you
go ahead.
misunderstood.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Explain
When
it
I
to me.
mean, Luke uses the genealogy of Mary.
Okay.
Her Ashira name.
Excellent.
But when it's talking about Joseph, it's still talking about Joseph's
Okay.
father.
So
not Mary's father.
let's look at this. Where is Mary's genealogy in Luke that you're saying? You know you're caught here, bro. You're just making
but
this
you're
up.
not-
Jesus himself began the ministry at 30 years of age,
you're not understanding
being
what
the
I'm
son of Joseph, the son of Heli. Come
Mary.
on, you know better than this.
When I said Mary's father's name is Joachim.
Joachim,
Her
okay.
mama's name is Anna.
Okay.
That, when I say that's using Mary's genealogy, it's
Okay.
talking about the ancestors of Mary, relating them that she is from the
Okay.
tribe of David.
So you're saying that these are not the ancestors of Joseph, they're the ancestors of Mary.
No, they could be the ancestors of Joseph.
They were brother and sister or what?
No, they're going back to bro.
Okay.
All
So
shows.
who's Heli?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you think he's mentioning that genealogy? To show what?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
I believe that, as Bart Ehrman and others have written, that these were all written way later, and they were trying to connect different people with different intentions.
They're written way later.
Yes, that's my belief. You asked my belief, so I give it to you. Now, my question is, who's Heli? No, you don't want to answer this now.
Who said that?
You asked my belief, I gave you my belief.
Yeah,
Now,
you said
Heli,
someone said that. Who was it?
Bart Ehrman,
Bartman says that the genealogies were written when?
way later.
Way later.
Yeah.
That's what he said?
I have his book, I'll bring.
I'll look
Look into it. Who's Heli then? In the genealogy of Mary, according to you.
It's talking about Joseph's father.
So that's not Mary's father. It's not Mary's genealogy.
No, Mary's genealogy, as in she's from the tribe of Judah. She's from the tribe
But
of
this is the
David.
genealogy of Joseph. Okay, who's the son of Matat? Who's Matat? You know you just caught yourself. You did. Bro, you said this is the genealogy of Mary. With all due respect, you said this is the genealogy of Mary, and now you're saying,
she is the descendant of David.
where did it say she is the descendant of anybody? It says the son. It keeps going back with all sons.
Because Joseph is her husband, so
Yeah,
she's
so
part
it's-
of his genealogy now.
Wow.
He's her husband. She takes his name.
His name, but this is the father of Joseph. This is not genealogy of Mary then.
Yeah, who's father of Joseph?
Here it's Heli,
Right,
and the other one is
who's father of
Jacob.
Mary?
Come on, bro.
They're two different
I
people.
appreciate your time, bro.
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna show it to you,
Show it
so
to me.
you know.
Show me what you like. I mean, it's on. Come on, bro. Why are you gonna do
Honestly,
this?
I have no idea what you're talking about when it comes
Really?
to the
I don't, huh?
genealogy.
Thank you.
Because
Yeah.
you have not
You said this is the genealogy of Mary, and now you're saying no, it's not.
uses. I said Luke uses the genealogy of Mary to show that she's from the tribe of Judah.
But this is
Because
talking
her
about the
son is gonna be-
sons, not daughters. It is all sons. It's not her genealogy, it's Joseph's.
You said that, but every single scholar says
You said that. Luke uses Mary.
Yes,
You said it.
all
But it
scholars
says
say
sons. No, all scholars
I'll
don't
show it to
say
you
it.
right now. Genealogy of Mary. Let's see. According to scholars, let's see what they say. Let's have them prove who's wrong. More straightforward, and according to most explanation of scholars, Luke's genealogy is of Mary.
Okay, so let's look at this, right? So you said all, right?
No,
You said all scholars.
I
You
didn't
said
say
all.
all,
But
I
if you
said
if you
most.
scroll sons. It's not her genealogy, it's Joseph's.
You said that, but every single scholar says
You said that. Luke uses Mary.
Yes,
You said it.
all
But it
scholars
says
say
sons. No, all scholars
I'll
don't
show it to
say
you
it.
right now. Genealogy of
You said all. But if you scrolled, you said all. Come on, man, I got you on video. How are you gonna do this to yourself? If you leak, all doesn't mean every single one. Okay.
Yes, all doesn't mean every single one.
So, if you look at the same article that you were
That's
showing
not an
me,
article. I just put on Google. I'll
gotcha.
show you
Your
actual
Google,
one.
the church fathers held that both accounts are true, right? And John Damascus argues that Jacob is of the tribe of Solomon, died childless, and Hele is from the tower of Nathan, and he took his wife. This is an opinion that this is not the genealogy of Mary, but rather a stepfather of Joseph. This is one opinion. Easy. Let me read it. I did a video on this, bro. You think that I don't know these?
You're talking about Wikipedia.
I have. You showed me Wikipedia. You're the one that brought it.
I didn't show you. You clicked on it.
You showed that clip was from Wikipedia. You
clicked on
brought
Wikipedia.
it. You brought the summary there was from Wikipedia, and now you're like you're not
You
accepting
clicked
it,
on Wikipedia.
bro.
I'll show you. Okay.
Go ahead, show me. Show me all scholars. Go ahead. I made a video on this. I have Christian pastors who give different opinions clipped in the video.
Okay, we'll see.
Bro, come on.
Because, bro, the phone's a little-
Go ahead. Take your time.
Any questions? Any questions about Islam? About you, the purpose of your life?
What happened, bro? Looking. All right, keep looking.
Alright, man, it's loading. No, here you can see it.
Go ahead. What?
It's just.
You're just Googling, bro. That's
No,
all you're
I wasn't
doing. You're
clicking on it.
you're
It's
just
not
clicking on
working.
random links.
It's not random links. This is the genealogy of Luke. This is
Okay.
it. These
So
are-
from what website?
any of them you can click onto, and it's just not
Okay.
working.
So, do you,
Give it a second.
MacArthur, you want to read what he says?
That's why T-Mobile sucks.
There was one.
Ice cream.
I think this is like a red hot like we looked at like I've never had.
Any question about Islam? One of the best guided to mankind. Last testament from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mankind.
You want to go home, look it up, come back, bro?
Yeah, I'll look it up because my phone is just, like,
You
a
look it
little
up, bro.
slow right now.
Listen, I'll tell you what. While you're going at home, listen to me. Najib.
I'll bring him to you next time I come.
Listen, I have a video on it. Look me up, Uthman ibn Farouk, genealogy.
So are you saying all this? Are you saying Jesus is the son of Joseph?
I am not.
Okay, so what's your point?
So the point is, one, that when you were saying this is Mary's genealogy, that is incorrect.
It's not what I
Okay,
meant,
listen. I did not put words in your mouth.
You said, why does this one says Joseph is the son of this one, and why does this one says that Joseph is the son of this one?
Right.
And I told you it's probably because from what I read that Matthew uses genealogy of ancestors of the genes of Ashirat of Joseph, one uses of Mary. So
Okay.
when it says that because it's her husband,
There
it
we
becomes
go.
his genealogy.
So it cannot be
And
the
all they're
son
doing-
of
hold
then.
on. And all they're doing is trying to show that these are children of David.
Right.
Because her
but
son
the
is going to be
question
the king.
gets
That's
to
all it
be,
was.
is it says the son of Joseph, not the daughter. If it was about Mary, it would be the daughter.
I'm pretty sure they
You're
use
pretty
a
sure.
different word for son though. in
No,
Greek.
exactly same word. I have it in Greek.
which word is
I
it?
got you. That's why I have these printouts, bro. There you go. Two is the word being translated here for son. And it's the same one
What's the word?
throughout.
What's the Greek word?
T-O-U with a asterisk on it, right? The exact same word is used, and in Luke, it even shows that it's Joseph, the husband of Mary, right? So it cannot be for Mary, rather for the husband of Mary. So that word, to, however you translate it, it's the same word throughout.
No, because the Greek word is genau. That's not what you showed.
In Luke, look it up again, bro.
It says right here, it's genau.
Let me see it.
Confirm the different words of Matthew and Luke.
No.
used to describe
Bring-
Joseph's relation- Yeah. Okay, great with it. Matthew uses the Greek word genau
When described,
when describing how Jacob became the father of Joseph.
Right, but
Matthew uses this word to be taken biologically because it's the same word that uses to describe how Jesus was born of Mary.
Biologically.
So they use two different Greek words for
no.
son.
Look up the Greek Bible.
Look up the actual Greek.
They're the Greek. I have it right here.
Yeah, what's the verse?
Luke 3, all the way down to 38.
What's the verse where the word is shown?
Sure. So in Luke, here, I'll give it to you. Luke 3, 23 to 38. I know, yeah. Up to you, bro.
What verse was it, sorry?
3, 23 to 38.
23 to 38?
Yeah. So 38 is where it starts, with Adam being the two of God.
That was Matthew?
The Luke. We're talking about Luke, right? You said that's the Mary's
And
genealogy.
what's Matthew's?
Can you look up the Luke Greek so we can look at the word
I
first?
took a screenshot. I'm going to look at the Matthew.
So let's look at it first.
It's there.
So what's the word for being used?
Hoyas. And the other one says genau. Two different Greek words.
So of course one is translated as begotten.
No, the word son is right there.
Yeah, this is
I took a screenshot. Right there.
all right. Okay.
Hoyas.
So what does it go? Keep going.
That's the word son.
Hold on, bro. This is between Jesus. This is why it's a supposed, right?
That's
Here
this is what you
too.
gave me.
Joseph is what of Heli?
It doesn't say son.
What does it say?
What is the Greek word? It's toe.
Okay, cho. So
doesn't mean
Joseph.
son.
So look at this here, right? When you're looking at the word, that is regarding Jesus. We're talking about Joseph up.
Oh, I thought
So-
look at the word son.
Yeah, that is what's being. Look, when it says Joseph is the son of
What
Heli,
verse is that? 23.
23. So look up 23.
And himself was Jesus beginning about 30 years old, being
Right.
the son as was supposed of Joseph.
Right. So that's between Jesus and Joseph. That is a
You're talking about-
supposed son.
yeah.
We're talking about between Joseph and Heli.
Joseph. It doesn't say son. It just says
So-
Joseph
so-
of Heli.
Excellent. So let me show you this now. So let me show you this now. Look, here, when you look at the word two, that is translated as son, right?
Let me try
Now,
to look at it.
if you look at the verse now, look at 24.
No, we can just look at it. What does the
look
word mean?
Sure.
So I want your perspective. Do I have to learn Arabic to see the truth?
No,
No?
but you should, if you're gonna want to become a scholar, then you should learn the language that it was revealed in.
What is the difference in depth if the final result is the same in heaven?
There is no difference, but if you want to like excel in learning, then Arabic is no doubt an important tool because that's the language it was revealed in. But if you just want to believe, I mean, your aqidah of being a Muslim is enough.
So there is no deeper understanding from reading this in
Sure,
English?
of
And
course.
Of course.
There is a deeper understanding because you're looking at the natural language that was revealed in Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyya. For example, if I wanted to study Shakespeare, I would want to learn classic English to get the depth of it, but I can get the meaning of Hamlet even without it, right? So if you want to just know the meanings, there you go. You can take the Shahada, you'd be a Muslim just like any Arab. But I'm not Arabic, for example, ethnically, but I learned Arabic so I can get the deeper understanding, look at the books of tafsir and so on and so on. So even
My
if
point is there a difference in depth?
no, I mean you could be a perfect Muslim and not know Arabic. Yes, but if you
Continue with the...
thank you.
Nah, you can come back, man. I'm about to leave. Yeah, that word doesn't mean son. And
So,
every single
okay.
translation means of.
Okay, so right here, what is it translated to?
Of.
It says of here.
No, that's the actual. definition of the
No.
word. You asked me what it
what
was.
I'm asking you is, if you look at the relationship of Joseph and Heli, what is the word used? To, right?
In the original Greek?
Okay, yes, in the original Greek.
Yeah, it means
Okay,
of.
okay. So now if you go to all the way back to Adam to God, what is the word used? Look up 38, Luke 38.
Luke 38. Yeah, because it just said of.
I got you, bro. You think I didn't look at this already?
No, you asked me to look it up.
I know, I'm just saying. Go
I'm
ahead.
not saying it is. It's
Go
not.
ahead, bro.
Adam of God.
Of God. Okay, so here, what does it say?
So are you saying Adam was the son of God? Literally?
Read.
No, I'm saying, are you
No,
saying that?
hold on. I'm not saying
I'm
that.
confused why I'm looking this
Sure.
up.
So can you read here? What does it say? Adam, the word of God.
The son of Enosh, the son of Seth, the son of Adam, the son of God.
The Son of God.
Yeah.
And what's the word in Greek used here?
It's talking about he's of Adam. Of
Listen.
God.
Please, just the honesty is all I'm asking for, okay?
Baby,
The
this
word
is the
to,
Greek
I
right here.
know. But that word is translated as what in the Bible?
That, yeah.
The son,
You
right?
translate it as son.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean
so,
biological.
So now the question is here, if you look at Seth, was he the biological? I did. So
son doesn't mean biological.
I understand, but I'm saying is Seth was what of Adam? Was he the biological son?
Seth
Yeah.
of Adam? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when you look at Enosh, was he the son of Seth?
You know, I don't know. I have to look first.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, what's funny is, throughout this genealogy, the same word to, you are translating as son. This is what it says. And then when it comes to a contradiction, even though the word son is in the
No, I'm saying like I don't remember. Where's the contradiction?
Joseph is the two of Heli. It's
Oh, okay.
translated.
Joseph son of Heli.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So here you're saying the word two doesn't mean son, even though it says it here in the Bible.
it means of. He's of Heli.
But read what it says here.
Yeah.
Joseph
son
is what?
doesn't mean biological. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but whatever it means, then it should be consistent throughout, right? Or you're just going to switch it up whenever you want.
So if you're gonna say consistent, then Adam is literally the son of God.
According to this, yes.
And you-
I'm
you
not
think
saying that.
Christians
Oh no,
believe that?
I'm not saying that this is my belief. But this is what
means
is
of,
written,
means
right?
of.
No. It says here, Adam, the son of God. Okay.
Yes,
My
son,
question
not
is,
biological.
Okay, but then when you go through Seth and Enosh and so on, this is biologically timed, right?
Yeah.
But then you're
some are not.
right. But then you're switching it up.
I'm not switching
willing.
it up, it's just common sense.
No. So it's not common sense that Joseph is not the son of
It's
Heli.
common sense. Adam is not biologically God's son.
Sure, but then
But it uses the same word, does it not?
it does
So it
exactly.
could mean biological
So
or not.
my question then to be is, how do you differentiate? As you wish.
No, because
Okay,
we
the same
know
word.
from Genesis that Adam
Okay,
was
so
created.
but when we're talking about Seth and Adam and so on, you're saying this is the physical lineage tying back to David, right?
No, I was talking about the one.
This
the
as well.
genealogy.
This also has David in it, right?
Yeah, it
Okay,
does. But
so
one only goes to David, one goes to Adam.
right, and the one that goes to Adam still goes through David with children, right?
No, there's
So
there's one generation missing.
in which one?
Different. I don't know. There was
Okay.
one that was different. They use this because of marriage.
So now here the
But
issue.
Hold on. My point is that that word, son of, it could mean biological, it could not.
Okay,
It
so
is used there biological, most of them, because it's mentioning Adam, Seth, Isaac.
gotcha.
But
so
we
the
also
question,
know that Adam is not biologically God's son, and he uses the same word.
Sure, which is
So it could mean
interesting,
both.
right? Which is interesting because that would mean that when it comes to Heli, unless you have an evidence, then he is taken, as you have repeatedly, as the biological father of Joseph. And that's why a different word is used for Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him, because as we both know, he was not the son of Joseph. Right. So now, if we didn't find a contradiction,
Sorry,
I got you.
Are you saying so the contradiction is who's Joseph's father?
yes,
Oh, why didn't you say that from the beginning?
I did.
I
Okay, you didn't get it? It's all right.
completely misunderstood this. No.
I'll go for it.
Yeah, because I believe the reason why they have two different ones, because one is taken as his father through the marriage of Jacob and his wife.
Jesus called me the son of God in both genealogy, but God is not even mentioned.
So no, go ahead. So wait, hold on. So what were you saying? Yeah.
Joseph's father, one mentions one because one was through marriage.
Marriage.
Father, like father.
Okay, so one of them would be then Mary's father.
No, not Mary's father. No, because
Joseph was married to Mary, right?
because he was married previously.
To who?
Yeah. We don't know.
So you don't know who which father-in-law they picked from?
No, I'm saying in our Catholic and all apostolic tradition, Mary had no other children with Jesus, but Joseph had
True.
children.
Okay.
So that means he had a boy.
Okay, so
We
you're
don't know who
getting.
she was.
But
I don't know. Who she
but you don't know that that's his father-in-law. You're just guessing it now.
No. I'm saying that now that I know
Yeah.
you're asking who's his father. Now I thought we were talking about Mary's father. So I got
No. You said this was
Joseph's
Mary's
father.
genealogy. That's why we talked about
No,
Mary's
I'm saying
father.
Some said the reason why
You
there's
said
two different
all,
fathers-
but that's interesting.
To ours, when I say all, we're talking about Catholics.
Ah, okay, all
Not-
Catholics.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Not atheists.
Not
but
Christian.
Barman and stuff.
Yeah, not Christian.
Is Barman a Christian?
No. Other Christians. Look, if you watch my video, I've got clips of other Christian scholars.
I'm talking about all the ones I've known, all the ones I've read.
Gotcha.
Said the reason why
That
there's
Luke's
because
genealogy is
one could have been
Mary's.
using Mary's.
Okay, but then that's interesting because that contradicts what you just said right now, saying it's his father-in-law. But that's not
giving you an
Mary's father.
explanation.
So those are two different
Some say-
explanations for the same
I'm not
genealogy in
saying
Luke.
There are different explanations of
But you just
why.
said all of them said it was Mary's, and now you're saying they're different ones.
We're talking about genealogy, and you're talking about Joseph, who's his father.
But that is the genealogy. The genealogy in Luke talks about whose father, going all the way back to Adam.
You asking why? In one it says Joseph's father is this name, and one
Yes.
says, and I told you, one could be because of through marriage.
Okay, but then it's not Mary's, because that's another wife.
Some say that. Yeah. It's not really. You're just playing for the camera.
No, I'm not. I mean, it's just
giving
funny
you
to me
my
because
honest, though,
because
because I'm
earlier
not gonna
you
give you
said
something I don't know.
that all scholars, at least all of
Not
yours, said
all.
that Luke's genealogy is that of Mary. Now you're
Don't
saying
say that.
that genealogy is of another wife, not Mary.
No. I said, bro.
You know that's what happened, right?
Are you okay?
I'm okay, but
I don't think
did
you
you
get
not
what
say
I'm
that?
saying. Bro, Mary's genealogy has nothing to do with Joseph. Those are two different people.
Okay, so this one in Luke,
No,
whose
let me
genealogy is
finish.
it?
You keep cutting. That's why you keep getting
Okay, I'm
confused.
listening.
The reason why you're confused
I'm listening.
because you keep cutting. You're not understanding. Mary's genealogy has nothing to do with Joseph's genealogy. Those are two different people. If you're asking why Joseph in one gospel says this is his father's name, and in one gospel says something else, I'm saying that could be because of a previous marriage. That's not saying Mary's genealogy. Do you understand now?
Yes. Can you show me Mary's genealogy in Luke that you mentioned?
I told you I'm going to look it up and I'm going to show it to you.
Can you show me Mary's genealogy in Luke? Because you said that one is Mary's. Go ahead.
When I look it up, I'll bring it to
No,
you.
no, here in Luke.
I don't have it.
You don't have it. Can you Google it?
I'm trying to, man, but that's the thing. His phone's too slow.
Pray, inshallah.
My phone's not loading. Every time I swear to you, every time I click on it,
Yeah.
and it tells you the contradictions in Luke, and it'll explain
Right.
it all to you.
So what's the verse? Luke 23, right?
Yeah.
So this is it. So you're saying this is Mary's genealogy.
No, but I'm telling you why. I'm showing
But you
why.
just told me this is not Mary. This is another wife's genealogy.
Here it is. Look.
Okay.
Look.
Go ahead.
This is Jesus has two different godfathers here in Luke 3:23. Heli, which is the one we talked, that he does in Matthew, Jacob.
Okay.
This should be expected since there are two different lines of ancestors. One traced through his legal father Joseph, and the other through his actual mother Mary. That's what I was
Excellent.
saying
Okay.
from
So
the
now,
beginning.
but this is not what you said. You said that Heli is not Mary's father. It's another wife of Joseph's
No, I'm
father.
saying it
You
could.
said that,
I
bro.
said it could.
You said
Stop.
that,
Now
didn't
you're
you?
lying.
I'm lying.
That's big difference. I said
Ittaqillah.
some say it could have been.
Ittaqillah.
Mary had no other children with Jesus, but Joseph had
True.
children.
Okay.
So that means he had another boy.
Okay. So
You
you're
don't know
getting.
who she was.
But,
I don't know.
speak the truth, Akhi.
I-
You said
I'm telling
you said that Heli
I
was
said-
the father of
I didn't
another
say he
woman
was.
that Joseph
I
was
said-
married
That's
to.
not what I said. I said some say it could have been the father of his previous marriage. That's what I said.
But now you just
Why?
said this is Mary's.
No,
So
I
Heli is
told you
Mary's
the
father now.
No, bro. I'm showing
This is the genealogy of Mary or no?
That's what I just showed you.
Okay, so then you're saying this is the genealogy of Mary and Luke.
Listen.
I just did.
Listen, wait for someone to talk because this now is just like a show. You're not even like listening to what I'm saying. You had a nice ass conversation.
It was nice until you started switching up your words.
You said show me where they say that there are two different genealogies. I showed you.
So this is Mary's.
Hold on. Did I not show you?
What you showed me does not match what you said. So you're saying now this is Mary's genealogy. There it says this is Mary's genealogy. That means Mary's father is Heli.
I'll read it to you right now. Here, hold on. Yeah, but you just
read.
it. Okay, bro. This should be expected since they are two different lines of ancestors. One traced through his legal. Hold on, let me finish reading.
I'm listening.
One through his legal father Joseph, and the other through his actual mother Mary. Matthew gives the official lines since the addresses Jesus' genealogy to Jewish ancestors of the Jewish Messiah credentials, which requires that the Messiah came from the seed of Abraham through the line of David, which is what I said from the beginning. Luke, with a broader Greek audience in view, addresses himself to their interest in Jesus as the perfect man, which was the quest to the Greek. Through thus, he traces Jesus back to the first man, Adam.
Excellent.
Then Matthew gives Jesus' paternal genealogy and Luke in his maternal genealogy.
Excellent.
That's what I said from the
So
beginning.
that means this is Mary's genealogy. That means Heli is the father of Mary. That's what you just read.
Because I said-
That's what you just read, right?
No, but I told you it could be from his previous marriage because he was married.
But how
before.
would then that be Jesus' lineage? That would not go through Mary anymore. That would be another woman.
Well, let's explain it. Let's read it then.
Bro, you know, come on,
It's
man.
right here.
Come on.
Why are you
bro.
afraid to read it?
Read it, please. I'm afraid to read it. You're proving me every time you read it. You are saying these are two different. One time you said this is Mary's genealogy, then you said no.
Right here.
Go ahead.
Further, Luke does not say that he's giving Jesus' genealogy through Joseph. So then
Okay,
you're
so
wrong
then
there.
it's Mary's. I'm not wrong.
Hold on, keep reading.
Rather,
he knows that Jesus was supposed the son of Joseph while he was actually the son of Mary.
Okay.
Also, Luke would record Mary's genealogy fits with his interest as the doctor in mother and birth, with his
Excellent.
emphasis of. Hold on, let me.
so
let
this
me
is
finish.
Mary's then.
Let me finish reading. Oh, my battery's dead, sorry. Finally, the fact that the two genealogies have some names in common, such as generally two reasons, and he gives you the genealogies right here.
Got it, bro. Bro, look at me. So you're saying from what you just read, this is Mary's genealogy.
From what they're saying, yes.
Okay. So Heli is then Mary's father because this is Mary's genealogy. Jesus, the son of Mary.
You're talking about Joseph, not Jesus.
You're saying this is not Joseph's genealogy, right?
In Luke, they use Mary's genealogy.
We're talking about Luke, so that would mean this is not Joseph's father, this is Mary's father. And that would mean Heli is the father of Mary.
there are a few explanations. Some say it could have been from his previous marriage.
That's not what you just read. That's not what you just read. That Luke is Mary's genealogy, right?
You said it wasn't.
Listen.
Did you not say it wasn't?
I don't believe it is. But listen, you said this is Mary's. But you said it is. So if you said that's Mary's, then Heli should be the father of Mary. But you said the father of Mary was named what?
His literal biological father is
of
not
Mary.
the same as
of Mary.
Yes, biological is not the same as of.
Bro, you're jumping around. You know that.
First
you made it Mary's genealogy. I'm lying? Ittaqillah. You didn't say that this was another woman, not Mary?
Did you not say that this word means biologically?
No.
You didn't say
I did not. I said it says son of in the translation that's here.
You said son of or I said
Bro,
son of? You said
I said son of. We have it on video. We'll play it.
So is
we'll
Adam
go home and play
biologically the son
I
of?
do not believe that.
Okay, so
but
then it
the
doesn't mean
same
biologically
word is used. So if this is Mary's genealogy, as you're claiming, then Heli would be Mary's father, not Joseph.
It could have been her Ashira name, not her biological
But that's not what it's saying here.
My father's name is Yonan. Okay, my last name is not Yonan either, is it?
Bro, you skipped to another wife of Joseph, did you not?
No, I said
did you
some,
not?
I said some say it could have been the name from his previous wife.
But then it wouldn't be the genealogy of Mary. But then it wouldn't be. So you threw that out?
I'm not saying it's true or it's not. I told you from the beginning, some say it could have been from his previous marriage. I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm just showing you what some say.
Some say.
Yeah, because we know he was married.
Thank you.
That's a fact.
So then it would not be Mary's genealogy, it would be another woman that you said you don't know of.
I don't know.
But you just read it's Mary's genealogy, so which one is it?
Yeah, the entire thing, it goes through Mary's lineage.
But if it's another woman, then it doesn't go through Mary, right? Look, this is very simple. It's very simple. If you are saying that this was Joseph's other wife, then it's not Mary's lineage. And if you're saying it's Mary's lineage, then it's not another wife. Then Heli would be the father.
I'll look into it.
Look into
I'll bring
it, bro.
it to you. Sorry, my phone died.
I appreciate the conversation. Thank you so much.
I'll bring it to you and I'll show you what I mean by Joseph.
May Allah guide me and you to the truth.
Sure, man. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
إذا أعجبك الفيديو لا تنسى الإعجاب والتعليق، ولكي يصلك كل جديد اشترك الآن.